What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner!
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
All Man United fans live in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. It's me and the boys. We're talking soccer. It's the middle of the summer. Friendly's happening. Women's World Cup is happening. And boom, Messi has made his Inter Miami debut with a bang. The 94th minute winner. Did you expect any less from the GOAT? What a star-studded crowd that was watching him. What an entrance for the man, the legend Messi. Unbelievable. We'll talk about it in a little bit. They played Cruz Azul in Leagues Cup. What is Leagues Cup, you ask? We've got an explanation for you. We got a little bit of an explanation, and whether we like it, whether we don't, we'll talk about it as a panel here. All right, so as I said, Messi, it's Women's World Cup, it's Leagues Cup, there's preseason friendlies, transfers, rumors, news, Saudi Arabia buying more players. We've got a lot to get to. Let's jump in. Before I tell you who is with us today, it's the normal guys. But before we get there, I want to say thank you, big thank you to our friends and our partners, our sponsors. A big thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all your online soccer gear needs. Thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Appreciate you guys hosting us in the Women's World Cup game this past Friday. We had a great turnout. Thank you, Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Kyle and the gang, awesome, great beers, good time. Thank you to Aaron Bird, Next Level Training. You guys are the best trainers around. The kids camp just finished this past week. My kids enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you to the Michigan Jags. Hey, that UWS team, that women's pro team. Oh, man, I think they're playing right now or about to, and they're going to become national champs. Hopefully I didn't jinx them. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. We're going to hear back there. We'll follow up here. So good luck to the Jags. All right, boys, at the kids' table. Who we got? We got Nate and Brooks. Guys, how we doing?
Fantastic. But before we keep going on a wonderful show that will truly be amazing and always possible, the man to the left of me, he's less confusing than a Leagues Cup rules. He's more spontaneous than another Premier League player joining Saudi Arabia. Ladies, he's single. He's always looking to mingle. Big in India. Huge in India. Huge. Big fan there. It's Brooks Lambier Jr. There's always two.
Always two. Brooks, how goes it, buddy?
Good. Wasn't a crazy weekend. I was at the DCFC match last night. I know you were as well. And then Friday night we were watching, as you said, the Women's World Cup at Dog and Pony Show. So pretty relaxing, though. No, not too much going on. Not yet. Not till the craziness begins in the middle of August, where college soccer starts back up, and then youth soccer. And then, and then I'm busy every day of the week. So, yeah.
All the soccer.
Enjoy that time off now, my friend. But I say time off, but we were, like we said, we were at Dog and Pony Show Brewing Friday night watching the Women's World Cup, USA versus Vietnam. We'll talk about that in a minute. But most of us had a second screen going. We were watching the MLS debut, the Leagues Cup debut for Messi, as he made his entrance in the 54th minute for Inter Miami. We were all watching. We all were watching with anticipation, and he did not let us down. Boys, I know you've seen the goal. I mean, did you expect any less from the best player in the world? What a fantastic strike to win the game, huh?
Was he playing? Where did he play?
Oh, yeah. Apple too. Wait, you know what?
Wasn't watching it.
Someone said that game was free. Was that right? Anybody could watch that game?
I heard a rumor that they're pushing it for free.
They were pushing it for free? Yeah. Okay. I mean, we all are on the bandwagon that Apple is paying the majority of the salary and whatever it is into Messi's pocket for him to come here, right? And they're hoping for a quadrillion billion new subscribers to Apple TV Plus and the MLS Pass. I think we're all on board with that, right? I mean, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, they want to get as many people as they can to Apple, but they're gonna have to. I mean, if you do a couple of those matches for free, why not? And they have some Leagues Cup matches for free. I think actually that was part of the deal. They were gonna air a few Leagues Cup matches free, and then also I think there's a reduction in price right now. It's like half off right now or something they're doing right now.
Was that negotiated before Messi joined? Do we know, or was it just part of the deal, like out in the off? Any idea?
Probably
Part of the Messi deal.
Probably Messi deal. And I mean, the reality is Messi's probably paying his buddies to be here too.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Listen, I'll come to Miami, but you got to kick in some money for Busquets, Jordi Alba, and you know what? Let's bring Suarez out of retirement, right?
No, it's more like this. Like, hey, Craig, I got an 8-a-side game on Saturday, dude. I needed someone who can score some goals. Can you come play? Yeah. Do I owe anything to play? Nah, you're good.
Yeah.
It's one of those. But change that. Do I owe anything to? Here's $10 million.
Yeah.
Transferred offshore into an account that probably no one is going to find. Plus, I don't even know if that's illegal, to be honest with you.
Probably. I don't even know anymore.
If I gift a friend money,
no.
I don't,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Probably not. Is that $10 million available for me to come play with your 8-a-side this?
yeah, sure. Let me get a checkbook out.
I'm in. Yeah.
The Atletico Michigan checkbook.
Exactly.
Got a new forward, boys.
Yeah. Not sure he's worth $10 million, but hey, give it a shot.
I never said dollars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pesos?
Let's try lower, buddy.
That's
lower.
Yen.
Much lower.
Yen.
Is yen, the Chinese yen, pretty.
How's the Czech currency doing?
How about the
Czechoslovakian
Russian
currency? Yeah.
The Russian currency.
Oh yeah. All right.
Aren't
Well,
they euros though?
Brooks, you've got to
They're
be
rubies.
super happy. I mean, honestly, the amount of exposure the MLS has right now because of Messi. The
How
amount of
happy?
eyeballs that are on this. You got to be happy, right? This is your league, my friends.
Super
No, it's
thrilled.
good. I think it's good. I just don't want. I don't think people need to get high hopes that just because he has one good game in a competition means that
He scored the winner. Scored the winner in the 94th minute.
he's going to turn Inter Miami around and they're just going to be a playoff team and win everything.
So
I still don't believe. I just don't believe a bunch of mid to 30-year-olds. I know they're good.
Aaron Bird's gonna kick the
Can
shit out of
easily.
Yep.
I don't believe that they can easily just turn around and just win this league. Maybe not this year, but next year. I just don't believe it. I don't think it's no.
So I don't
Can't
think they'll
happen.
win the league. I think it's absolute bullshit that these players can play in the Open Cup because it's like just adding guys in a semifinal now. That's kind of crappy.
Sure.
Where
Does that might have to do that they haven't played in the league or haven't played
you can't
previously,
do that
right?
in other tournaments. Other tournaments you have to turn in what your roster is.
That's true.
I'm wondering.
In Champions you have to turn in what your roster is.
Yeah.
In FA Cup you have to turn in what your roster is.
Mm.
They're literally adding players, and that's kind of bullshit. So
This is the MLS. They make the rules up as they go, my
I
friends.
know. So anywho, I think there's a strong chance they could win that Open Cup if those players are playing. And I think there's a strong chance that they could win this Leagues Cup if those players are playing.
I mean, maybe. Yes. I mean, maybe.
I think everyone has a chance because it looks like some of the lopsided wins that happened looks like some teams weren't kind of really taking this super seriously or they were just caught off guard. I don't know.
Well, let's. I wanted to get to this a little earlier, but why don't we jump in and do it now? What is Leagues Cup? How does it work? Let me tell everybody right now. Leagues Cup runs July 21st through August 19th. Liga MX and MLS have shut down their leagues and they're playing against each other. And Brooks, you told me earlier it's for every one Liga MX team, there's two MLS teams.
I
Because
think that's how the groups are.
that's how the groups are set up. All right, so there are no ties in these games. Each team receives 1 point if the game is tied after 90 minutes. The winner of the subsequent penalty shootout will earn an additional point. Regulation wins, so if you win in 90 minutes, counts as 3 points.
Yes.
The format, it's an official CONCACAF competition.
Mm-hmm.
All MLS and Liga MX clubs will participate.
Yep.
World Cup style tournament. Group stage followed by knockout rounds. 4 regions, East, West, South, Central, 77 games in total, hosted at MLS stadiums throughout the U.S. and Canada. So all games here in the USA and Canada, none in Mexico.
I'm surprised.
I agree. Liga MX versus Liga MX matches will be played at MLS venues depending on the region, which is very interesting as well. So it looks like the MLS and Liga MX have partnered up for this Leagues Cup, and Liga MX just said, "Yeah, we'll just go into America. We'll play all the games there.
I think
all
MLS
the games
MLS has more money.
Yeah, but how do you feel though? Like, I mean, I think that's a chance if you go play in Mexico, maybe to gain some fans in Mexico.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that they've already got everybody in Mexico on board with Liga MX, and now Liga MX says, you know what? We're going to go into America and gain more fans. We want to bring more of our fans to support our clubs.
Most of the Latino populations are already big fans of most of those clubs.
And that's why they're all coming here to America.
And
so
every game will be pro Liga MX.
Well, depending on where you play. Chicago is going to be pro.
Oh, yeah.
So
California, anywhere.
I'm MLS. I want new asses in the seat. If I have a Chivas Guadalajara going into, or a Club America going into a stadium, I'm prone to get new asses to the seat to sell then my product.
Yes.
And hopefully get those guys who don't live in Mexico, who support maybe Chivas Guadalajara, support Club America currently, to maybe then, hey, MLS isn't that bad, come support your local team. That's the whole thought about it. And then on the flip side, Mexico is trying to, get some of those people to maybe pay attention to their league or watch their league.
Fair.
I heard something interesting. I heard that, the games on Telemundo are one of the, some of those games on Telemundo are one of the most watched soccer games in America.
Yeah.
It is a highly, just because.
Telemundo does a great job. I mean, if I could understand Spanish a little better, I'd probably watch it more. It's a much more exciting announcers they have, that's for sure.
If I could understand Spanish, I'd probably watch that as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
way more entertaining.
It's Mexican national team. Whatever they put on Telemundo soccer-wise, because it's in the States here, everyone watches it. Numbers are terrific, so it makes sense.
I guarantee probably after the first 2 years, they'll probably stop doing it all if they continue doing it.
Yeah.
Which I think they will. I think there's interest there to continue doing it for the long haul.
Yeah.
I think they'll stop doing it America only and start doing it in both spots.
I agree. I think they'll go back. They'll go into Mexico and play games there for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Because at that point, MLS will say, we want new fans as well. We want to expand our brand into your country.
Yeah, you're not going to get new fans in Mexico.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. Think of some of the Mexican national team players who play on MLS teams, right?
Yeah.
Chicharito, Herrera, Vela.
And
you've got
LAFC
these players.
is looking to add more.
So if they go play in Mexico, those fans are going to come out and watch them. They're going to cheer them on. They're going to say, you know what?
Yep.
I'll pay attention a little bit more. But very smart on both sides at this point, I say, to play all those games in the USA and Canada. Very interesting.
Except for the Canada part.
Except for the Canada part, because you do not like Canada. All hate mail can go to natejanulis@hotmail.com.
Yes.
Tim Horton sucks.
Yep, and find him on Twitter as well.
He doesn't have a Twitter. He's got an Instagram,
You threw off the joke.
though. Yeah, I know.
Oh, my God.
We actually want people to find him, though.
Good luck.
I mean, he's like a ninja.
Good luck. I'm short. You will see right through me.
Yeah.
Or over me.
Over you.
In big crowds.
Yeah, basically. I blend right in. Literally.
I do want to say thank you to everybody joining us live. Do me a huge favor. Put your comments, your questions, your concerns in the comments below. We love to read them off. Please go ahead and let us know what you think about what we're talking about. If you think we're full of it, let us know. And all that mail will be directed to Nate.
Is the it awesome stuff, or
exactly
what is the it?
Exactly, full of awesome stuff.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, lots of people join us online. Thanks for following along, guys. From the weekly recap here at We Are Soccer, it is Sunday night, July 23rd, and listen, we are 4 days now, 3.5 days into the Women's World Cup. There have been I think all the results that we've had have been expected, but we've expected more goals. So I'm just going to read off some of the results. We'll get back to the USA-Vietnam, which is a 3-0 USA win. We'll get back to that game in a minute. Japan 5, Zambia 0. Zambia were actually picked by several people as a dark horse during this for this tournament. Zambia getting their asses handed to them 5-0 by Japan.
What do you expect? The Blue Samurai are awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, yes.
Again, they mistake because the women's players may be shorter than a lot of them. They mistake the technical ability and the IQ of the players.
So I played recently with a former Japanese national team player, Mami Yashimi.
Yeah, she's coaching at Spirit now.
She's coaching at the Spirit.
Mhm.
What a phenomenal player. Holy moly. I told everybody when she showed up to play for us, it was a co-ed game, I said, this girl will be the best player this facility will see tonight, bar none. And people were like, yeah, but she's 5'2". Are you kidding? Look how small she is and slender. Her touch was unbelievable, and she was quick. And everybody after the game goes, yep, best player in the facility. Absolutely. She'll probably be the best player in the facility that plays here this month. She was that good.
I'm confused where people thought height was equal to ability. Let me just name a few.
Well, it's very American.
Rooney.
Because, yeah,
Rooney. I don't know. Messi.
Messi. Who? Wait, never heard of him. Who's that guy?
Maxi Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Not the
Luch-
DCFC one, the
Yes.
the NYCFC one.
Yes.
Your current assistant goal leader right now, Lucio Acosta.
Is he like 5'6" or 5'5"?
He's like 5'5".
Yeah. He's tiny. Tiny. Yeah, you're right. Height has nothing in this sport, and I absolutely love it. It is a very American thing to say, oh my gosh, look how small and skinny this person is. They're probably not very good. They are the best chess player you've ever seen, and by chess I mean
Why are they playing
soccer,
chess?
because it is a chess match, and that is how the best players win.
Why are we playing chess in the
I
middle of
know,
a soccer
I
game?
know.
It's very strange.
All right, onwards to the Women's World Cup. England 1, Haiti 0. England only scoring 1 goal on Haiti. Unbelievable there.
It's coming home.
Yes,
It's coming home.
Denmark 1, China 0. Switzerland 2, the Philippines 0. Spain 3, Costa Rica 0. New Zealand 1, Norway 0. I believe that was the opening game, and what a great win for New Zealand there.
Ernie Holland dropped the ball in that Norway
He
team.
really did.
Yeah.
I think
Canada
Danny,
0, Nigeria 0.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's talk.
Wait, Canada nil?
Canada 0.
Ah!
Canada 0.
Ha!
Nigeria 0.
That's
big,
okay.
big maple leaf on the board.
Yeah.
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 All right, boys.
And I tried it.
Let's talk about the USA Vietnam game. 3-0 USA. Underwhelming performance. Going into the game, I told you guys, I told a couple players, I think this year the Women's World Cup is the Women's National Team, US National Team is not going to get very far. I think they've got a nice solid defense, a good midfield, but where they're really lacking is up front. They have no creativity. They've lost their best player in Mallory Pugh. I really think it showed in this game that they just can't figure out how to score goals. And I do not think Vlatko is a very good coach based on the games I've seen in the last year or two. I mean, it was very simple in this game. What did Vietnam do? They sat back and they packed it in. They packed the box and said, go ahead, try to beat us with long-range efforts, try to beat us with creativity, and the USA could not do it. They scored 3 goals, don't get me wrong.
They
but
weren't
I
very
think-
solid goals, that's for sure.
And I think one of the best players, in my opinion, one of the best players in the game was the goalie for Vietnam, and she was like half the size of half the players. Now, size kind of matters a little bit for a goalie, right? Just a little.
Well, you gotta be
What
uber
was your guys'
athletic.
thought on this game? What was your guys' thought on how the U.S. came out and how they finished this game?
Number 1, it's Vietnam. Sorry. It's
Come from the guy that pronounces everything right.
it's Vietnam.
But-
That's who you're playing, and they're not very
But
good.
They're not good, right?
I know
I
that.
expected more from the USA.
No, but number 2 is, especially in the first half, there was several opportunities that they had that were just a little bit wide or got nearly cleared. Or
Fluffed their line.
that game could easily, in that first half, could have been 4 or 5-0 easily if that ball bounced to left, to right a little bit. And so I think it was, even though it was 3-0, I think it was a little bit, it was a lot more dominant than when people realized. I looked at one point, our goalkeeper had 0 shots. So
0 shots
zero
faced,
shots.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it looked like Vietnam basically said, "All right, we're not beating this team, so let's put all 10 players into the box and just pray to God that we keep it respectable." And they did. And I mean,
They did. They absolutely.
They
I
did.
think a 3-0 loss is almost a
But again,
victory.
That
for
could have
them.
easily been a 6-0 loss.
Yeah.
A couple of those barely near saves that were happening, like a player just stumbling in the way or getting in the way just right at the right moment. It could have easily been 6-0, easily. Very, very easily. I think the more dominating fact was the fact they didn't do anything offensively at all.
Are you in any way concerned that the U.S. will? I mean, all right. So let's be very honest. They are one of the favorites in this tournament. They are expected to finish 1 or 2, most likely 1. I don't think they're going to get past the semifinals. I don't think they'll get past the quarterfinals. I think they'll be lucky to get to the semifinals. I don't think they get past the quarterfinals based on this performance and based on the fact that they said, you know what, we got to bring someone in. And in the 60th minute, they brought in Megan Rapinoe, who was terrible.
Ooh,
and it's nothing against her. She was bad, but I put that on the coach. So
Hold on.
The options off the bench aren't great.
Hold on. I have a different take on that.
Go for it.
I have they're doing crap offensively. Throw in Rapinoe because this game's already over. And it doesn't really matter.
Minutes.
And let's get her some minutes, and this is a good time to get her some minutes.
That was her 200th cap, I think.
I would say plus her 200th cap.
Yeah.
Good point.
Get her
Yeah,
200th cap, have her, and maybe she's great. If she scores, she feels good about herself, great. If she doesn't, who gives a crap, because they virtually have nothing else going forward. I think that's one of those where they were so dominant at that point, not goal-scoring wise, just possession defensively.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
You could have put my daughter out there to run around.
And she would have looked good.
I'm not look good, but it's not going to have an effect,
Right.
right? It's just like, here comes Sydney.
But it was almost like they were trying to put a spark out there, and that's what they put out, and it didn't do it. But you're probably right. Brooks, what's your thoughts overall, man, on the women's chances here and what you saw?
I mean, I think Lindsey Horan had a lot of chances to score and put stuff away. She didn't, and I think she had high expectations the last World Cup, and she failed to meet those expectations. She's someone that's always done well in NWSL with Portland Thorns, and now she's she made the transfer before the World Cup over to France to play at Lyon, I believe, in the French league. So, she needs to step up and do some stuff. Alex Morgan needs to convert that PK. That was a very poorly taken PK in my
Very
opinion.
poorly taken.
And I expect better from someone to convert that. I don't know. It's a team. Obviously they're going to be solid in the back line. It's just the question is, do they have enough goal scorers, to win them games when they have to play against tough competition that can defend and have good goalkeepers,
Megan Rapinoe also had like a glorious miss too. That
she had a few. She missed. She had like a whole half of the net open, and she failed to slot it in.
Now, one thing I do want to say about Megan Rapinoe is we all know she puts her views out there. She stands up for what she believes in. She uses her platform, as they say.
She has views?
Right? She has a couple of views that she likes to tell people about.
She was great in the soccer cartoon movie on Netflix.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So, you know what? That's her thing. I'm not going to get into that. I know a lot of people agree with it. A lot of people disagree with it. I am 100% going to just focus on the soccer. I think she has passed it. I think her role, we all know her role in this World Cup for the U.S. women's national team is going to be different. I may buy in, Nate, on your theory there that they are just, this game is an easy win now that we're 2-0 up. We're just put Megan out there, get her 200th cap. Yep. Maybe she scores a goal and looks really good, and give her minutes now so that when the meaningful games come along, like the next one, we don't need to put her out there.
You have to play her at some point.
I think it might even be written into her contract that she has to play.
Especially if she's looking to set like a historical record. You can't just leave her on the bench.
Sure.
And so that was the game. And that
was the game to do it.
When she went in, I'm like, there's no risk. They were up like 3-0 at that point, right?
I think they're actually up 2-0 at that point.
It doesn't matter. You don't have a shot on goal.
Yeah.
There's nothing going forward. There's no risk. There's no danger. It's fine. So do it now. Because then if Netherlands is tight and you can't get her in or you don't see it logically to put her in, it'll be less of an issue, is the way I looked at that.
Now, the next game is this Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time against Netherlands, and it's USA-Netherlands, which I believe was the 2019 final game. USA coming out on top there. Netherlands have dropped off a little bit. I think they've swapped coaches within the last year or so they may not have quite the rhythm that the U.S. does and some of these other teams. I I'm not personally getting up at 3 a.m. and watching a lot of these games. So, it's nice that the first 2 games here are 9 p.m. Eastern time, and it's easy for me to watch.
Yeah.
After that, though, I think they're going to struggle for viewership. They did get 82,000 into the first game, from what I understand. That was good. The crowds have been really good. Viewership, I'm sure, has been okay. It's not bad, but overall, it could get better. It could be better. I'm looking forward to see the viewership numbers on the semifinals and finals when those happen.
I'm not
in a
getting
month.
up at 3 a.m. either. I just ain't going to bed, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'll text you at 3 a.m.
Major.
Yeah. All right. So, listen, there's a lot we can move forward with here in the Women's World Cup. I'm happy that it's kicked off. I'm a little, weirded out that some of these scores haven't been quite as big as we'd think they're going to be. The biggest one, Japan over Zambia. Japan,
I think that means the game's just getting better all
game's
around.
getting better. I
which
agree.
I think is important.
I agree. I think
Because
there's
it was
also-
dominated by like 4 or 5 countries and no one else
This
had a
is true.
chance.
This is true. Did you guys see Japan as well after they won 5-0? Their locker room, just like the men's team
Oh,
did.
they did the thing.
They did the thing.
Actually,
Well, the fans do that too. They clean the
clean the
seats.
seats.
You know
and
what?
Yeah, and they left a nice little note that said, "Thank you." Already.
Arigato.
Yes,
you know what?
arigato.
That's becoming annoying.
Really?
Just fuck up. You're just showboating at this. Oh, look at us. Look at put yourself on a pedestal.
That's Japanese culture.
I don't care. They're showboating. They're just
not showboating at all.
They're showboating. They're just doing it to you be like everyone else. English people leave their beers all over the place. Spanish people are leaving their smoked delicious meats all over the place.
It's nice to have nice people in the world that actually.
They're
care.
not doing it for the right reasons. That doesn't make you nice. They're doing it purely because
They're just doing it.
they're doing it to get attention because nobody cares about their program, and they're not.
All right.
Rabble.
We will continue to follow along in the Women's World Cup. I'm sure there's going to be some good games to talk about next week as we continue. All right. Boys, do we want to talk about friendlies that are being played, or are we going to talk about some transfer rumors?
There are no friendlies.
There are no
Greg.
friendlies. You know
These
what?
are competitive matches where
Yes.
after one team wins, we
Let's-
go to a penalty kick for no
You
reason.
read the scores and that's it.
Well,
what do you really make of
There's
friendlies?
some interesting things that come out of them. We can get there, but one of the
Friendlies.
issues, one of the situations I want to talk about right now is the Kylian Mbappe situation. So just so everybody's aware,
Who's he?
yes, exactly. Who's that man? Kylian Mbappe, we all know him, the PSG star forward, the French national team stud player. Listen, it's come out that PSG believe that Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid have signed a contract that starts next year. So PSG believe that Kylian Mbappe was always planning to run his contract down to the end of till it ends, which is the beginning of next summer. Then he leaves on a free. Now PSG paid 165 million euros for him. They do not want him to leave for free. He is one of the best players in the world. Now they've told him, if you do not sign an extension to your contract right now, we are going to sell you. And they're holding true to their word. They've actually left him out of their friendlies here, off of their traveling squad, and they've said, make a decision or we're going to sell you. So they've put it out there. They want to sell him, but that number is going to be big. Real Madrid have yet to come in with a bid. There are rumors that other clubs are looking to make a bid. There are rumors that Saudi Arabia want to come in, and obviously we know they've got money upon money upon money that can purchase Kylian Mbappe. I do believe that in the end it will be Real Madrid. It will probably be, 140, 130 to 150 million. It should be more, but because of the situation of a year left in the contract, they'll have add-ons, they'll have all this good stuff, but I think it'll get done.
Why not Tottenham?
Excuse me?
I
Why
saw that
not
rumor.
Tottenham?
Why not
I
Tottenham?
saw that.
What the hell? Tottenham?
Why?
Did you see that today?
Why is it a what the hell Tottenham?
Champions League?
Huh.
Champions League.
Huh.
Is a Champions League without Kylian Mbappe right now would be
Look at all the players going to Saudi.
would be
Just be
you're not
Champions
wrong
League
on
without?
that. You're not wrong on
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I don't see it
I
being
would
Tottenham.
try.
I don't see it being Tottenham.
If you have they got a striker that's out of contract in the summer as well.
year.
That's not
Yeah.
exciting. Or
Yeah.
that's not extending.
That's
And
going to
if-
Bayern.
It might go to Bayern. Who knows?
Well, Bayern, I don't think can afford the 130 plus for Kylian Mbappe. I do really think
No,
they are
no,
still
he
interested
said-
in Kane.
He
I
said
still,
Kane. He
I still
meant,
think they're interested in Kane. I
he
don't
meant
think
Kane.
Yeah.
Kane to Bayern.
We'll
But
talk
if you
about
could-
that in a
if
second.
If you could take Kane and go, hey, you got a striker that wants to leave, and I have a striker that wants to leave, and if both parties wanted to switch, that would definitely make, instead of it being 130, 150 for Kylian Mbappe, it would be a 30 or 50, right?
I do
and
believe
that's much more palatable.
I do believe PSG inquired with Tottenham, and Harry Kane said no. From what I understand,
There you
Harry
go.
Kane last week said not interested in the French league. Can you blame him for not wanting to go to the French league?
No, I was just saying, but
Yeah, I agree.
because he also already apparently
But he's
agreement-
French.
Well, he has Kane has the agreement worked out with Bayern apparently.
Yeah,
so
apparently that is a thing. But who knows if that's actually going to happen, because Daniel Levy is a bastard of a man to
Oh,
bargain
you said
with.
Kane to PSG. Is that what you said?
saying-
There's been rumors for that.
No, PSG inquired about Kane and Tottenham, and Kane said no.
Oh,
Said,
yeah, well, yeah.
I do not want to play in the Ligue 1
Ligue 1.
in France. He is not interested in playing in that league,
Mm.
and I don't blame him. Brooks, I think if we cut one of your legs off, you could actually be a really good player in League 1
Oh, wow.
in France. So,
I like both my legs.
with both legs, you'd be a superstar, but with
Yeah.
one of them, you'd still be a half decent
It'd be
player.
League.
League-
Yeah.
Here's the question: is it dumb for Levy to not cash in on Kane now and let him leave for free? I think it is. I think it's absolutely silly.
He has said that he's willing to do that. Now, whether that is a bargaining chip or not, I do not know.
But why would you do that? That's so silly. So you're gonna walk away from like 90 to 100 million that you could get out of maybe PSG or Munich
Hey man,
or Madrid?
I'm
yeah,
in-
I mean
I'm in
technically you got
agreeance with
3
you.
suitors.
I'm in agreement with you. He
For
needs
what?
to sell.
For principle?
Even if, yeah, that's his thing.
That's stupid.
That's his thing.
That's stupid.
Principle. I agree.
And if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be pissed.
Well, let's use what AC Milan did. They just sold Tonali to Newcastle for 80 million. They took all of that money and they bought 5 players
Yeah.
who, under the age of 24, are now going to change the next 5 years of that club's future.
Yep.
They took one player, sold him, bought players who are not superstars by any means, but are stars, are going to bring in the eyeballs, but can actually get it done on the field. That is what Tottenham really needs to do, especially as they just have a new coach in Ange Postecoglou. They need several positions filled. So, Nate, you're not wrong.
And that's what I mean. I look at like a lot of the German teams, and that's what they do, and that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
That's what Dortmund's doing. Leverkusen's been doing it. Leipzig's doing it. They sell someone for high, and then they fill it in with 3, 4, 5 different
Yeah.
players
Yep.
that have a potential lot of upswing to be better. It's crazy. And then the question is who holds the big stick here between Mbappe and PSG?
Well,
Mbappe.
Unfortunately for
Is
PSG,
it?
it's Mbappe, yeah, because he has 1 year left on his contract,
Yeah.
and he can just say, you
Leave
know
for
what?
free. Sit me, right?
Sit me,
Yeah.
sit me,
We're
pay me,
cool.
sit me. I'm willing to play. I haven't said I don't want to play. I'm here. You're paying me. Let me play.
Yep.
And you're not gonna pay. You're not gonna play me. Hey man. And you know what? I fully think even if he took the year off, if they said we're not gonna sell you, we're just gonna sit you here and not play you, he would start next summer and still be right back where he was and be a superstar of a player, because what an unbelievable player he is. Now, Danny, our good friend Danny Price, put in the comments here, this is karma for not taking Madrid's 200+ bid last summer for Kane. I'm sorry, for Mbappe. You know what?
Could be.
You're not wrong. It is karma. PSG don't need the money, though. That's what it comes down to. They've got ways around these things. How do you put Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar in a team? Donnarumma, with all the other players, they don't need the money. They've gotten their little... Al Khalifi has his way around things, and he's been doing a very good job with it. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. Tottenham, though, he's trying to tell you it's about the principle, but it's not. Trust me, Daniel Levy needs that money to start something. Go ahead.
I got a late breaking news
Ooh, let's go with it.
from an inside source who's sexy in English and has multiple arm sleeve tattoos.
Is it me? No, that's not me.
You don't have any arm sleeve.
I was only.
tattoos.
That's
Very,
the only thing I
very-
was missing. It's the only
Very,
thing I
very,
was
very
missing.
close.
Yes, yes.
Very, very.
You lost your English accent, though.
This is true.
So according to this Twitter person, Samuel Lockhurst, is that a person who's in?
Yes.
Okay, is he good?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't have a Twitter.
Yes.
So okay. Spurs owner Joe Louis has issued Daniel Levy with an ultimatum to sell Harry Kane or tie him down on a new contract.
Yes.
In
So he has
parentheses,
two
unlikely.
options.
United circling on offense. An offense Spurs are suddenly receptive to selling him to a Premier League club. Do you think?
Not a chance.
Hold on. Do you think the Munich carrot dangle was to force this hand to maybe get sold within the Premier League? Not saying United. I'm saying to get sold within the Premier League.
No, I want to ask. I want to put that back on you, Nate, because you've told me that, or told us that. Listen, when the news comes out about a player who's signed with Bayern, and it's from a reliable source, you believe 100% that's true.
Yep.
So pretty much the player has made his mind up.
Could be.
And said, I like what I hate the word project. I like the project you have going, and I'm going to sign, and we've agreed everything. Now you and my parent club have to figure it out. So
I've said two things.
the player, in my mind, has made his mind up.
I've said two things this whole time.
Mhm.
I said if he wants to stay in the Premier League, I think he could transfer out or stay with Tottenham, right? But if he's gone, he's going to Munich. That's what I've been saying this whole time. The question is could all this Munich smoke be to force a transfer within the Premier League?
Why would Tottenham transfer Harry Kane, the star English player and goal scorer,
Do you want me to read it
to
again?
Man United?
Joe Louis has issued Daniel
Why-
Levy with an ultimatum to sell
why
Harry
though?
Kane
I
because
would rather sell for 25 million less to send him abroad into Germany than have him go to a rival. Because if we're being honest right now, Tottenham finished 5th, Man United finished 3rd, Newcastle 4th. Just so we're running it out. That is a direct rival for a Champions League spot next year. Why would you give them your star
in
striker?
the world of smoke, mirrors, tomfoolery, and bullshit that is the transfer window, could you not see rumors circulating for a high fee outside in order to push this through, and then something else coming in over top with a higher fee?
I'm going to agree with you that this is smoke and mirrors. And
I'm just saying.
But I'm going to twist it and say, I think Tottenham have put it out there that Man United are now going to come in to force Bayern's hand.
And that could be the other thing.
Bayern
That
to
could
come
be the
in.
other thing.
So I
Because
do
the
not-
reality
yeah.
is how many bids had there been for Tottenham or for Man United? 0. And how much interest has really outside of this been talked about for United? 0. They seem to be tied had their hitches tied to this Hoyland, right?
Hoyland, yeah.
Hoyland, yeah.
Which, when
Hoyland.
I want to get into that, not today, when it's a little bit more of a concrete rumor. I've done some
they haven't-
research on him.
But
But
interesting thing is they haven't put a bid in for him either.
yes, that's all
So
smoke and mirrors
they,
as well.
They haven't put in a bid for any striker and are kind of operating with Jadon Sancho, who's a left winger playing as a forward. He scored.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He
Yes,
scored.
He did.
But you know that they're not going to go. It's kind of like Munich. You know Munich's not going to go into the regular season with another forward, right? And the only one that Munich has been tied to or has a hitch tied to has been Kane. It's been Kane.
Yep,
So that
yep.
tells me there's something to go there. United. It would be crazy if they. I really struggle to believe that they're going to go into this season without some forward, somebody somewhere, and there really hasn't been a bid out there. Which
Agreed.
kinda-
They need
kinda funny.
someone, but I do not think it's Kane again. I think Daniel
I'm not-
Levy is a very smart negotiator. I think Nate, you nailed it. I think he said, I think there is smoke and mirrors, and we'll throw some rumors out there, get this going. I think Tottenham going, yeah, we get it, Harry. You've said you want to go internally. You've signed with Bayern Munich. You've signed all that contract. We got to get them to up their price because the price of $70 million that they bid is not good enough. And now how do we do that? How do we up the price? Make it look like there's another suitor. Hands in the air from the kids' table. Nate, yes?
Hey, you raised your hand this time. Wow.
This just in, more late breaking news from an inside, sexy English-speaking source of a man. I think he's just trying to.
He's messing with
He's
us,
going
but go
fishing
for
at
it.
this
Yeah.
point. Is the transfer insider on Twitter a reliable source?
Sure.
I don't have a Twitter, so I don't
Yeah,
I don't know, guys. I'm legit asking.
It's hard. I don't know. I think I've probably
It's
read
all
that one.
rumors.
but-
According to the
rumors.
Transfer Insider, a Manchester United move for Harry Kane would not be an alternative to Rasmus Højlund.
Well, they ain't gonna afford both of them, I can tell you that.
Hag wants both.
Well, that ain't.
And then
Yeah.
and at the end, there's a handshaking emoji like this.
Yeah.
Handshaking emoji.
I'm gonna tell you right now that probably Twitter account is
Handshaking emoji.
bullshit. Wait, no, wrong one.
God,
Well, yeah, I love that one.
No, wrong one.
it's the yeah, there we go.
It's absolute.
No, do the other one again.
Yeah, do the other one. Yeah. That would make it. Listen, it would make
That
a lot
would
of
make
sense.
what?
You bring in a striker like Harry Kane, 30 years old.
Yeah.
Who's got probably 3, maybe 4 years old, depending on how he looks after himself. at the
38.
Top,
He's
30,
that
no,
old?
30.
I was
30.
like,
Just
Jesus,
turned
like,
30.
he said 38, and I was
No,
like,
he's
what?
30 years old. He's got 3, maybe 4 good years left, and I think he can really get it done at a big club, right? And then you bring in the young up-and-comer, the 19, 20-year-old that everybody says is the next big thing, and you put them together. I absolutely get it. But you're not paying $100 million for Kane and then $50 million in the same year for Højlund. I just don't see it happening. Now, I would see it happening if your takeover bid had happened, but that hasn't happened. That's dragging on. Based on how transfers have been in the last several years, I don't see that happening yet. It's interesting, but again, I think Daniel Levy says, I would rather sell him to Bayern Munich for $70 million than for $100 million to Man United, our direct rival who are going to be competing for Champions League spots next year. Just me.
How about I solve this and I just rest this so we can move on?
Brendan Vasquez
No.
to
He's going to Germany if he does.
to Munich. No, actually,
Gladbach.
Gladbach.
That's
Yeah,
been-
that's the big rumor.
Kane to Bayern.
Boom.
Done.
Man United finds someone else, whatever who they find.
Højlund is the guy they're after.
Oyland or wherever.
who's
You know,
being
they may have
reported
to
at
suffer
50
for a
million
year.
at the moment,
They
yeah.
might have to suffer for and went to the next transfer window for a striker, but that's what happens.
But here's the thing: it's going to be a domino effect. I think it's a domino effect. Once it's either Kane goes first or Mbappe goes first, and it's that domino effect that'll happen. And then PSG will need to find someone. It's just it'll be fun.
Now,
It'll
if
be
they
fun
had
to
the
watch.
oil money, Man United, I could see maybe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe
If
them
they had that
wanting
oil
to
money,
try
yeah.
for Mbappe, maybe.
It's kind of like the midfielders, right? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like it was who goes first type thing, and then they all just kind of, went and moved around and moved about. But it took forever for that first one to go, and then the rest kind of followed within weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
It's similar to that, because the first one's always going to set the precedence and price for the next one wherever they go.
Yeah, it's that domino effect, as we said.
There you go. Harry Kane watch continues.
Harry Kane watch continues.
Kane Watch 2023.
And I think it
No
was.
tight pants.
And this has been ongoing the last 3 summers, I believe. So this will hopefully be the last one, unless he decides
How about
to tie himself down.
How about Sabitzer maybe going to Dortmund?
Yeah, that's a good.
It's not a bad move for him.
That's not a bad move. I think that's a good move for all parties involved.
Mhm.
Bayern, obviously, he wasn't fitting in at Bayern because they shipped him out on loan to Man United. Sabitzer now gets to go to Borussia Dortmund. A nice
Scored
place
a
for
few
him
goals
there.
in that in that
Borussia
friendly.
Dortmund gets to fill a spot there. I think it's all parties involved. This is a great move.
Yes, yes.
So
yeah.
why it's a solid move for Dortmund, and they
So where is he going to play? Midfield or outside back?
I was
for
going
him?
to play midfield.
Yeah, midfielder, 100%,
and So
six.
what's going on there? And they've signed a few midfielders this offseason, but none of them are like marquee because that's how that just works. They brought in Nietzsche from Wolfsburg, and then they brought in a midfielder last year, defensive midfielder who's not too bad, Ozkan. So he's going to fill in there, and it's kind of like, hey, whoever rises to the occasion, that's who's going to go and play, which is not really a bad strategy, especially for a guy like Sabitzer who he's fine being an off the bench guy. Actually, he's even openly said that he just wants to be wanted at a club and not just be the off the bench guy cast off, but the off bench guy who's valued. So even if he doesn't end up being a starter, I think he still can be that off bench guy who makes an impact and helps out a lot. So I think it's a win across the board.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Unless they're not getting, it's like what 15, 20 million it was they're getting him for.
Yeah, it was cheap. It was like
Yeah.
15, 20.
So it's right in their wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, what a great signing for all the parties involved.
If
All
he
right.
signs, that's
Yes.
Yeah, I think it'll happen,
If
right?
he signs. But
It'll happen.
I don't see him staying at Munich.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
rumor is United's passing on him because I think they have other options.
Agreed. Yeah,
So-
and that's fine. Then why do you want to get a little bit younger in the middle of the field, right there. I mean, it's you know what rumor hasn't popped up recently is a Tyler Adams rumor again.
Oh, they
United.
said I read he's going to stay at Leeds. He's still injured. So they're gonna he can't no one's gonna take him when he's injured. So there's no way he's moving now.
I would take him.
They you could, I guess, if you wanted to. You could be like, hey, we'll take you, but we know you're injured. We have to sit. But again, on a team where he doesn't start, there you go.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into some other rumors and news that's happening here. Harvey Barnes to Newcastle, 49 million pound move, 5-year contract there.
Yeah.
He was reportedly to be on Villa's list. I believe we made contact with him. We put an offer into Leicester, and then our offer was blown out of the water by Newcastle and their Saudi Arabian money. So off to Newcastle he goes. Now,
honestly, though, they're really not doing anything too crazy. Newcastle, I do give them they're not being the Saudis in the Saudi league, that's for sure.
But so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you down a little bit of road here, Brooks.
All right.
Hold tight with me.
Okay.
This was explained to me the other night, and I hadn't thought about it.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
So, who are Newcastle owned by? Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Right, and we'll call it the state, the country of Saudi Arabia, whatever you want to say. 49 million pounds for Harvey Barnes. Paying over the odds for him, probably by about 15 to 20.
How old is he?
Okay, not a big deal. He's young, 22, 23.
Okay, so you still get him through his prime, and if he does well, then it's worth it, right?
Overpay for a player, no big deal. Now, Saint Maximum, right?
Mm-hmm.
This pacey winger.
Yeah.
He was in and out of the lineup last year. When he was in, he was good, but not consistent.
Mm-hmm.
There was rumors of him bouncing around. Now, Saudi Arabia, one of the teams, I forget which one, has come in with a monstrous bid for him.
I think the only two we ever know are Al Hilal and Al Nassr.
Yes,
so
Al Nassr and Al
Hilal.
One of those two.
I think we'll hit if we guess one of them.
I saw L, and
yeah,
it's going to be one of them.
Yeah. But here's the rumor. They've come in. One of those teams have come in with a monstrous bid for him.
Yeah.
Overvaluating him.
Sure.
So, in my opinion, he's probably worth in the 20 to 30 million range, right? But if they sell him for, let's just say 50 to 60 million, yeah, so what, right? Newcastle. No, what it's doing is it's helping Newcastle balance their books, right? It's helping. Now, why would Al Nassr or Al Hilal or Saudi Arabia why would they come in and buy him for that?
Because they're all friends.
Because they're all friends.
Not friends.
So now
it's all the same.
It's all the same. You're right, Nate. It's all the same.
The same group.
So now,
how this is
can
working.
they be in trouble with financial fair play? Well, no. They valued him at this. They offered us that, and
is there proof they're all in the same group?
Yeah, there's proof there's all the same group. But you can't
how about this? You go digging for that and tell me what you find.
No,
I ain't.
There is proof that they're all part of the same group.
Give me a ticket to Saudi Arabia. I'll go find out.
It's all part of the Saudi sports group. But what you need then to prove, which is almost impossible to improve, is intent.
Yeah.
That's where it's
Good
that's
luck with
where,
that.
yeah, good luck. You have to, unless you have an email, which would be
You
stupid.
need something like
You'd have to have something
physical.
in writing,
In writing, yeah.
saying, we are going to do this so we could get away with this, and that's why we're doing it.
So
someone will get caught at one point with that. Come on, it will happen.
That's the big
someone will
rumor.
slip, and someone will get caught with physical evidence that it's happening, and then
I'm not going to be the one who brings that news to them and says, "Hey, we caught you doing something wrong."
So that's the big
Or it
rumor.
could be a whistleblower that may voice their, you never know.
You ain't going to be blowing whistles anymore.
So that's also the big rumor. That's what's going on with Chelsea and stuff with some of their sales and dealings as well. Again, it's the same group or same collective organization that's working together. Again, you have to prove intent. Good luck.
So it's this is a bad thing that's now come into the sport because one of the other things is obviously I'll just obviously Aston Villa bought Moussa Diaby. They paid 49 million pounds for him.
Great player.
Good player. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely good player. Is he worth 49 million pounds? Debatable.
Yes.
But do you know why the price got driven up so high? Because Saudi Arabia came in and bid for him. Luckily for Aston Villa, he said, "Listen, I want to play in the Premiership, and I will sign with you guys. So now you guys can work it out." But Bayer Leverkusen said, "Well, hey, you guys got to match what Saudi Arabia just bid for him." So the price goes up. The price absolutely goes up, right?
Yeah.
It's it's blowing up prices. There's underhanded deals like
Well,
with
it's like,
Newcastle
okay.
where we're going to offer you $100 million for St. Maximum, who's nowhere near that, because Newcastle can now say, well, financial fair play, we're playing within the rules.
So this is just like, if we want to compare it to finance, it's market manipulation.
100%.
That's what they're doing. It's
Nailed
like
it.
when an analyst on like CNBC or whatever, a big person comes on and says something, I'm buying this and whatever, and they're manipulating the market, and that's what the Saudis are. They're manipulating the market.
What they're doing right now.
But let's be honest, even before the Saudis came in, everyone was doing that in the EPL anyways. There were people manipulating the market. So I don't think anyone ever gets bought at their fairly assessed value, in my opinion.
The only difference with Diaby, though, is he's actually marketed about these. Actually, his market value is around that if you actually look at it. So it's not that they're paying over the skis.
No, I'm just saying. Most players, though, I feel like are usually, are very over. I mean, the common one is the players that get relegated from the EPL to the championship, and then they're like, "Oh, you have EPL experience. Like, we'll buy you." You were on a team that was relegated, and you were like one of the worst outside backs ever in the league, and now I'm going to pay for like 15, 20, 30 million more. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Danny Price chimes in on YouTube with a comment. Question surrounding the Maximum deal, as the club he's going to is 75% owned by the PIF, the same owners as Newcastle. So, I mean,
and that's what they're trying to get rid of, right? That's what's come up, is they're trying to get rid of that. You can only own one club and not multiple.
Right. So there's questions all over this thing, and I think if we were really to look into it, we could go a lot deeper.
Yes.
All right. Wilfred Zaha of Crystal Palace, his contract expired this summer. I was really hoping he would re-sign with Crystal Palace, especially since the Crystal Palace are coming to Chicago this Wednesday and Detroit on Sunday, a week from today. He is actually in Turkey at the moment, signing with Galatasaray on a 3-year deal. So he didn't take the Saudi money. He took the Turkey money. I think that's a good spot for him, but we'll never hear from him again in Turkey, because how often do we ever hear about games from Galatasaray?
Oh, but they're in the Europa League or Champions
Only
League.
when they're in the Champions League. And
Or
they
Europa League.
never really make it that far.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. Well done. I mean, he earned it, but I was really hoping.
Do they have good
he'd
turkey in Turkey?
I don't think they eat turkey.
I bought a frozen turkey in Germany from Turkey.
Okay.
You bought a frozen. Hold on, while you were in Germany, you bought a frozen turkey that was from Turkey.
Genau.
For Thanksgiving?
Genau.
I'm sorry. What is that word he's saying?
genau?
Did he just sneeze?
Is it a special German holiday?
Yes. No. I bought a turkey from Turkey in Germany.
While you were in
while I was in Germany. Yeah.
Oh.
And cooked it for my coworkers.
Oh.
I've never actually had turkey before.
Really?
They said it was awesome.
Well, that's because you cooked it. Yeah.
Because
You
I
gotta
know
make a
good.
good moist
I'm-
turkey.
I'm
It's always
really
good.
I'm good. I'm good when it comes.
Great
to
cook, great wife. If Nate, I mean, yep.
We've
Yeah.
tried. Well,
Yeah.
I've always offered.
I
He
look
should-
good in a
he-
bathing suit too.
He needs to teach you how to cook. Craig.
Debatable. But
Like, we need
I'll
to do-
agree.
Debatable.
I'll
How
agree.
dare you?
We need to do like Nate cooking classes for you, Craig, so you can impress your wife.
Listen, I eat Hungry Man meals and make oatmeal.
This
I eat
man
just
has
fine.
a double oven.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been to his house? Oh, yeah,
No.
we have been to
Yeah.
his house.
Wait.
Only his basement, though.
How do you know about my double oven?
One, I was in your house, and I'm like, holy shit, you have a double oven. That's awesome. You know the damage I could do with the double oven? How
I've
awesome
only
I
been to
could
his
make these
man
inners?
cave.
And
I
you're
don't
like,
remember going upstairs.
You're like, yeah, I just
I
microwave.
think he
Hungry
snuck
Man.
upstairs at some point, Craig.
I do not remember showing you the double oven.
I was
That's
in your
anything.
kitchen. I know you have a double
I
oven.
do have
Oh.
a double oven.
Double ovens are great. You can make a lot of stuff with
I
that.
wish I had a double oven. I
Yeah.
don't.
We had a double oven at our old house in West Bloomfield.
Oh, look at me.
We made a ton.
My
of
mansion with my double oven over here, Brooks.
food.
All right, onwards. Double ovens, and didn't expect that to come
Are
up
we
today.
going to
did you?
talk about the city for Popple with the Jasco Gravidal?
Gravidal.
You want to know why he's not signed right now?
Insider news here, folks. Yeah, give it to us. Why hasn't he
So-
signed it?
So apparently it was leaked. It was leaked that he was taking a medical and a deal was done. And Leipzig is pissed.
Oh, they
And
didn't know.
They were
So we're not
like,
going to let the deal go through?
They're
as
just
of
gonna
right
fold it
now,
up,
there is no according to Eber, the president, Max Eber.
Ooh,
Very
official.
German.
Yeah.
That he goes, there is no agreement with Manchester City, not even close. And they're pissed. They're
Interesting.
absolutely pissed off that someone leaked that this was even going on, and he never took his second medical. They pulled him back and told him to come back to training and come back on tour. So he was off tour, took his first medical. This leaked. They said, "Get the back here," and pulled him right back and shut the door. They said they're furious. They'll talk in a week.
No more Red Bull will be sold at the Etihad anymore.
They're
That's
apparently
pretty interesting.
pissed, and they Leipzig kind of holds all the cards here.
Oh, absolutely. They
He
own his
redo-
rights.
he
They own
well,
his rights. Yeah.
and he re-upped his deal to like 2025.
I was about to say he signed a new contract
Yeah.
like in the middle of the year.
2025 or 2026.
Yeah.
So
this is something that's happening a lot more often than it's ever happened before. Players going and taking these secret medicals with clubs they want to move to and signing contracts like Harry Kane, right? Signing a pre-contract contract. This is something new that's happening in the world of European soccer. It's
very
getting a
American
little-
now.
Is it?
It's getting
is that
super-
an American thing?
What, a pre?
Like a pre-contract contract?
Well, maybe it's not. But I mean, the new American
No?
thing they're really doing is they're extending contracts like 5-6 years. Like,
Yeah, that's
EPL
the
used to only,
American
like,
thing, and
very
Chelsea were
2
the
or
first
3.
ones to take care of that.
yeah.
Chelsea were the first ones to jump
Soccer, I
on
don't think that's a very good idea
that.
because a lot.
a lot of risk.
Yeah, there's a lot of risk, and it's so hard when they come off an injury to recover. And
A good example of a risk is actually the Detroit Tigers, and I hate to use this, but what they signed Miguel Cabrera to a 10-year deal.
That was pretty stupid.
That was
I hate
stupid.
baseball.
Now he's in the
contracts.
last year of that deal. Dude's hit 1 home run, and oh god.
But unlike
that's-
American,
you think these soccer teams would have learned a lesson?
yeah, but
No.
unlike American sports where there's collective bargaining and everyone kind of makes.
You
the
don't
same
have that
money,
in Europe.
You don't have that. So what?
You have a
happens-
players' association, but it's not as strong as what America has.
Right. And
not
so what
wrong, mate.
happens when you have a huge salary, and if you ever want to watch that This Is Sunderland, documentary, there's a great example of that. The player has a huge salary, and all of a sudden you're not in the competitions you needed to be in to pay him.
Yes.
You're in big trouble. So that's the huge difference here. Huge difference.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then some
You're not wrong. About
managers
that.
even don't make sure they don't hit the mark. They're like, don't let him hit the mark of like minutes played and whatever, so he gets that extra bonus or whatever.
Yeah, that's actually why Antoine Griezmann never played in the first half of the season until like the 65th minute. Then he always subbed on, so he
Yeah.
could. And he always scored. He scored in every game almost. It was bizarre for Atletico Madrid, but because of the agreement he had with Barcelona, they didn't want to pay They didn't want to pay the clauses that were there. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Actually, speaking of documentaries, I don't know if you guys know. You probably do because I've said it a million times. I'm a huge fan of Peter Crouch. I love the
Oh,
Peter
yeah.
Crouch
On
podcast.
Amazon.
That Peter Crouch podcast is a great podcast. He now has a new one with his wife. The Crouch Therapy Crouch with his wife. It's brilliant. And then he's got That Peter Crouch Film, or I think that's what it's called, on Amazon. Brooks. Yeah, it's actually really good. Goes through the start of his career, some of the trials and tribulations he went through, and people making fun of him because of his size, and how he went from this weird gangly kid to this weird gangly professional that everybody loved because he scored goals for England and did the robot and is such a great personality. Highly recommend That Peter Crouch Film on Amazon. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of documentaries lately, and that was a good one. So get out there and watch it. Also, as we said, Moussa Diaby officially signed with Aston Villa. The price was driven up by Saudi Arabia. He signed, I believe, yesterday. The pictures came out, official, holding up the shirt with the manager. It'll be interesting to get him in. I am really interested to see how he does in the Premiership. It is going to be, because as Nate has told us a couple of times, highly rated player, very fun player, quick player, can score goals. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets on in the Premiership. I got to be honest, I need him to score 12-plus goals this year for Villa. I think if he scores 12-plus and Ollie Watkins can keep up with 15-plus, we'll be in a great spot.
Come on, man. What about Leon Bailey?
Leon Bailey, right now he's unfortunately, Villa just kicked off preseason this week. They played tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He's still on break because he was with Jamaica. I think Leon Bailey needs to come on this year. This needs to be the year that he brings it. We saw a flash out of it last year, but man, he just had these muscle injuries, thigh injuries, and calf injuries he couldn't stay away from.
And where did Leon Bailey play before?
In the Bundesliga.
What
Leverkusen.
team? Boom.
What'd you say, Brooks?
Leverkusen.
Yeah, Leverkusen.
With a
Yeah.
Musa Diaby.
Musa Diaby, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. I really am interested to see how they link up. I'm interested to see how Musa Diaby, Ali Watkins, Emun, and Bundia link up with him. I think it's a great partnership. What Villa now are missing is that kind of taller, bigger man in the box to put balls into the head. I think that's going to be our where we need to upgrade. I would love to see us go out and get a second winger. I would have loved for Christian Pulisic to jump in on the squad, but probably not an option with AC Milan coming in this picture there. We'll talk about AC Milan in a minute. All right, guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to take a couple of minutes. We're going to grab a quick beer from Dog and Pony Show Brewing. You, please do the same. Grab a beer, grab some peanuts. We'll be right back. We want to quickly thank our partners, Soccer World, soccerworld.net, for all your soccer gear needs. Thank you to Aaron Bird, Next Level Training. You guys are the best trainers in the country. Thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. As we said, grab one of their beers, get down to Dog and Pony Show Brewing in Oak Park. Thank you to Michigan Jags. We're going to check in on the score. Their UWS team's playing in the national championship game right now. Hopefully we get a win there. We can bring it back to Michigan. Come back in a couple of minutes, guys. We'll still be here.
Tempo, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch play, right foot, yes. Scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Good side on touch. Play, see it, yes.
All right, Brooks, we're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just gonna do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Craig, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
All right, right, guys, welcome back. Appreciate you joining us again. Thank you to our friends, soccerworld.net, Next Level Training, Dog and Pony Show Brewing, and the Michigan Jags. Let's check in on that score when we get a chance over there, Brooks, of the UWS game. See how the Jags are doing.
Yeah, let me look that up.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a win there, bring a national championship back here to Michigan.
I know it was 0-0 at halftime, but that was a very, very long time ago.
They won 4-2 yesterday. Amalia scoring 3 goals.
Is that fair?
It's not fair to have her. It's not fair to have her on the team. She is so good. She's so good. A hat trick? Are you kidding me? In the semifinals? God, Amalia, stop it. Just stop it. So good. All right, coming up this half of the show, we are going to do USL Pro Rel, promotion relegation. They're looking like they're going to implement that. I think the vote is coming up in about a month here. We're going to talk about
Less than a month.
Less than a month.
They're meeting August 8th to 10th.
All right, so
that's when the owners meet in Colorado Springs, and that's when they're all talking about to see what it'll be.
I can't wait to see what comes out of that. Before we get before the vote comes out, we're going to talk about it tonight, though. See if we're for it, against it. We're going to talk about some of the friendlies. Man United versus Arsenal. Arsenal lost twice yesterday in that game. We'll tell you how there. And Villa and Newcastle played to a 3-3 draw. We'll talk about that game.
How do you lose twice in a single game, Craig?
I know, it's incredible. History made. History made.
Hey, double loser.
Yeah.
I think it's 0-0 between Jags and SCFC Blue Heat.
So still 0-0.
So 0-0. Do we know what minute we're in?
I believe we're in extra time.
Extra time. Doug Stannard and that Jags teams. Get it done, girls. Let's go. All right. Pro Rel USL Championship. Brooks, you're going to be our man to explain this to us. But we got USL, we got MLS, USL Championship, USL 1, USL 2, and then what do we got after that? Just USL and...
No, there's nothing. I mean, there's USL Academy, much as you want to really talk about, does not exist. It's a big showcase. It's not really a league.
Okay, so what are we talking about for USL? What are we talking about for promotion and relegation? It's the championship, USL 1, USL 2. Is it just the 3 leagues right now they're talking about for that?
No, yeah, but I think what they want to do is they want to put a first division USL. They want to still keep a championship and then a League One. So
they're gonna. You're saying they're gonna insert a league between USL Championship and League One?
No, they want to put a first division league that matches MLS.
So they are going to compete with MLS. They think they're going to compete with MLS.
Yes.
Now the USL Championship teams, as we know, like Detroit City here play in Detroit, obviously with us.
Second division, bro.
They would be second division. How are you going to determine who gets to the first division? Who's going to start out in the first division?
So they had said that wherever people finish this year, that's how then they'll decipher in the leagues, how they'll decipher.
Well, how you finish this year.
But they haven't, it's not fully, they need to discuss that at the meetings, and it won't be really fully discussed if things pass on how things work out. The rumor was it depends on where you finish in the standings.
Yeah.
Is where you may end up if you're in the top division, second division, or third division. So listen, U.S. Soccer doesn't care if they brought in another first division thing. It doesn't matter, in my opinion. They really don't care. They'll be fine with that.
So let me just understand this. They want to make a first division.
Yes.
A new first division.
Yes.
Their current first division isn't on par with MLS, but this new first division is going to be on par with MLS.
I didn't say it'd be on par with MLS, but they want
That's
to.
what, no, you're not saying that. They're saying
that. Nate, you and I are going down the same road.
No, hold on.
Why do that? Why not just take USL Championship and call that Division 1?
Hold on. It's a legitimate question. So that's
well, you just move the teams up to Division 1, some of those. That's what you probably did the Big C. So this is a theory. This is what I would think. If they continue with and they make some of the championship teams, they move them up into the D1 because they feel like they have the facilities to do it. Probably Louisville. I'd probably assume Phoenix. Detroit, I'm not sure because the stadium size isn't big enough because there are stadium requirements that you have to meet when moving up into the Division 1 Pro level. There's requirements you have to meet through USSF. Stadium size, training staff, like there's a bunch of things you have to move in. So, and listen, I don't know if that's a slow progression where 2024 they'll do the Pro Rel between maybe Division 2 and 3, and then in 2025 insert a Division 1 team. Maybe that's what they are looking to do. First Division Pro, same league as MLS, Division 2 Pro, and then Division 3. So, in theory, I think how it'll work.
Wait,
Yeah,
What?
Nate.
Go ahead.
Nate, go
Go
ahead.
you said same league as MLS. What do you again?
Like same pro division, like not MLS. They're the same status. It'll be the same League 1 Pro, like Division 1 Pro status. That's what it means.
Okay.
Yes. So they will have the same Pro 1 status as USSF gives MLS. They will
Okay.
just be a separate league from MLS.
That kind of makes sense. I see where this is going.
Yes.
And
And then what I believe will happen is, they're all gung ho. They want to start this in 2024. So I think it may not be the first, like I said, Pro 1, Pro 2, and Pro 3 divisions. It'll just be 2 and 3, and maybe they have to work some teams in and get people situated. But what I believe is to fill gaps, what they'll do is they have a few USL Championships teams coming in on board this year in 2024. They have some League 1 teams coming in. They have some teams set for 2025 in both leagues, League 1 and USL Championship. What I believe is they need more, in my opinion, Division 3 teams. So I think maybe eager USL 2 teams that just play in the summer, they're amateur teams. If they have owners that have the money to do it, that want to expand into that 3rd Division Pro, examples, Midwest United out in Kalamazoo, if that, act passes that they want to, where they're doing a lot of restructuring downtown and the soccer stadium comes with it, I believe they will make a jump to USL. And I've heard rumors that maybe things could be happening in Flint with the Bucks, where a new stadium may be maybe churning here and maybe in progress. And if they get something, then possibly maybe you can then move from USL 2 to USL League 1.
This all it sounds good. Everybody wants promotion, relegation.
Yes.
It all sounds good, and I'm inclined to agree with what Danny just put on our chat here. Promotion and relegation can only work in U.S. soccer if all the leagues are under the same pyramid. And one league, with all clubs trying to get to the top league, which would be the MLS. And I'm inclined to agree, but unfortunately, we all know that the MLS is a franchise system, and you have to buy in. And I don't think
But
any
that's the kicker here.
one
Here's
of
the
those
kicker.
franchise members wants to be relegated.
Here's the kicker with USL compared to MLS. I have to pay $500 million now to buy an MLS franchise. We're already at 30.
And I don't want to be relegated in any way whatsoever because just paid you $500 million.
Exactly. But if you want to start a pro team, now I have Pro Rel, and that's something that's a little more affordable. Maybe my expansion fee for the top divisions, maybe $50 million. It's a lot cheaper to buy in, and now you're not taking as much risk by jumping in and expanding and paying $500 million.
So
You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper to expand into that.
Well, obviously,
and then
yeah.
to
Let's
build.
go buy a Detroit Bullets local team, and
Yes.
after 10 years, hopefully we've built up, or Detroit City, right? Let's go like what Detroit City did. They started out at such a low level, and they built up, and now they're at where they're at. Instead of putting $500 million into an MLS team, right?
Yes.
But
But I think this is a good incentive for USL.
MLS isn't gonna let. I mean, San Diego just paid $500 million to start in the MLS next year, right?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, if the MLS is like, now we're gonna have Pro Rel, San Diego's gonna be like, oh, give me some of that money back. That wasn't part of the contract.
No, first the owners have to vote on that.
The owners have to vote on that.
Which
MLS.
do you think any of those owners are gonna say yes to Pro Rel?
I'm not, or we're just talking about USL right now.
Right,
I
but-
don't even want to talk about MLS because it's
what
not
I'm
happening.
saying is it can't happen unless I don't think anybody's gonna take this seriously unless MLS is involved. Just
But this is USL being like, we need to stand out and we need to be different. All right, and then I mean, you give
I guess.
you,
Yeah.
well, and listen, look what's happening in Europe. If I'm a big money person and I'm like, well, shoot, I can pay $3 million in expansion fee. I can build a stadium and whatever in USL League 1. And now I promotion relegation to jump to 2 and then possibly get to whatever the new Division 1 Pro League that USL will name that league, whatever it'll be called. Now there's room to grow and for me to actually invest in my team. And maybe if I sell it, I may actually get more money for it at some point than I will trying to buy and build an MLS team to invest in and then trying to sell to someone that's, that you got to pay like $1 billion or over $1 billion to do. So there's more room for growth, in my opinion, for USL teams to build their facilities and build out things than MLS is kind of stuck with some stuff, to be honest with you.
You're missing something massive when you compare Europe with all this. There's incentive for dumping in money, and a team. That's why the Reynolds and
That's what I said though. Now there's an incentive with Pro Rel to dump in money for USL.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
Why is there not an incentive? If I can jump up
I
and
will tell you, because USL doesn't have the money that MLS does. There's no money in that league.
there's new leadership now. You don't know what could happen if sponsors say, "Hey, Pro Rel's happening," maybe as a TV contract, I may sink some money into that now.
What Nate's trying to say is
It's a lot of maybe.
no one's
Something
gonna
that
watch.
doesn't exist.
No one's gonna watch this UL. No one's gonna watch USL Division 1.
I disagree.
Let me know when.
I disagree.
Let
Go
me-
ahead, Nate.
I
Go ahead,
think
Nate.
because Americans have chimed in and have want this from MLS and they refuse to do it because the owners refuse to do it. This is why USL is attacking this situation and really looking at it, because this could be a game changer, and there's nothing more two organizations that don't dislike each other in this league than USL and MLS. They do not like each other. MLS wants them to go away. USL ain't going away. So this is interesting.
Nate.
I mean, you said it in the beginning where USL doesn't even have a development league. All the good players are going to play in MLS. All the marketability.
Not now. No. All the MLS Academy players that don't want to sit because all these MLS teams are buying international players that the kids going to have to sit and wait are now going. Look what happened with Josh Winder at Louisville City. Fidel Barajas left the San Jose Academy to go to Charleston, so then when he turns 18, he can be sold over to Europe. There's a movement happening within American sports. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There is a movement within MLS academies where kids do not want to stay and sit behind players that they may not play. If they don't play, then they'd rather go to Europe. All of them want to go to Europe. So why wouldn't you go play for a USL team if you've shown they've sold players overseas and actually get playing time in video? What do you mean it's one guy?
One guy. They've sold one.
No,
guy
they didn't.
for
There's a guy for OCFC.
two?
Yes, that
Cool.
Nice bought.
So
that
two.
Nice bought. There's been a few of them.
Well,
know,
okay, so
talking-
You've got Barca Academy who have put players into USL and that have the Barca Academy in Casa Grande who are now getting considered for a lot of stuff overseas as well.
Talking loud and over people doesn't make you right. How many USL teams play?
hot kettle black. What?
How many USL teams play in a high school, college stadium still? How many USL?
That doesn't matter.
Oh, that matters, dude. That's the product.
So what I'm
That's the
confused. What I'm confused at.
You don't
is
understand the
there's gonna
landscape
be-
because you're not in the landscape.
There's going to
That's
be
why.
two.
You don't
two
understand
top
what
divisions.
they're
there
trying
can't
to
be
do.
two top divisions. There can't be. There's not enough.
Yeah, there
room.
can. There could be two top division leagues.
No, they can't.
No.
Yeah, there can.
I mean,
If people are willing to spend the money and that USL thinks they have a fair product and USSF is like, why not? There could be two top division one
there's
programs.
always people are always going to go. There's two top
Who's the
divisions,
best?
but who's the best?
Who's
right?
the best?
And Apple unfortunately came through and said MLS is the best. And
What
now
if
we are-
USL goes to Amazon?
What
and they're
if-
like, Amazon, what if we're going to do that?
Hey, what if
You don't
there's
know.
What if there's a third league that comes on? What if all of a sudden this? What if?
So,
What is
don't-
right now?
don't
Where
we
does
have-
Messi play? Just out of
Oh,
curiosity.
yeah, in the MLS, yes.
Okay.
Don't we have the same issue going on right now with the NFL and the XFL? The
Yeah.
XFL has been trying
this
for
is-
years,
You
and it's a different thing when we all go XFL. Oh, cute, great. The XFL looks nice.
let me.
But this is where the real men play. I don't think it can live. I like the idea of Pro Rel. I wish it could work, but you need MLS.
Let me explain it
But it
to
won't happen.
everyone because I don't understand the landscape. How many pro rel teams do they exist in America at all? At
There's
all.
none right now, but that's what
Thank you.
USL's trying to change.
How many franchise teams consist in America?
So 30, we have 30 in MLS.
All
so
the
29,
sports.
So 29.
All the sports are franchised owned.
Yes.
What happens when a Division II or lesser sport that could be interesting and cool tries to? Do they ever topple the franchise? Has that ever happened in
It's
history?
really never been tried because
XFL didn't try.
I don't consider what XFL is. Vince McMahon is just a showman. And
Oh,
he
this
just
is
wants to do
XFL.
stuff.
This is XFL
He's
2
never-
owned by
I know.
Dwayne Johnson.
Vince McMahon and whoever else,
There's-
they
there's
have
not-
never tried to jump the NFL.
There's
They
not-
have never attempted it because they
Yes,
knew
they
it
did.
wouldn't work because the NFL has everything.
Not only could they not jump, but the product failed. Now, has there been other different baseball, basketball leagues? Yes, there has. Has there been other different hockey leagues? Yes, there has.
No, there hasn't. Tell me.
Yes, there has.
Which ones?
Yes, there has.
What
And
baseball
they've
league?
all
Between the
failed.
National and American League, who
All
else has?
failed. There's been amateur and minor leagues.
Name me
that have-
one. You just tell me. Name me one.
Do you want me to sit here and Google it, Brooks? You're being ridiculous.
Name
It's
me.
silly. You're being silly.
Name me it. And the okay, back when
I get
baseball
it. I'm
first
being
started.
edgy now. I'm Brooks. Let me tell you something that's visibly not going to happen, has never happened ever. But you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe for the first time, this is it. And teams that play out of college domes or half Keyworth stadiums will somehow topple soccer $1 million built.
I mean, you're not impressed with Louisville City's built that stadium?
Let me ask you a question,
and
Brooks.
Phoenix Rising have a stadium, and
They
pretty
built
much.
some nice
Yeah,
stadiums.
Just saying, they are building stadiums and they're investing.
And what
but they,
happens when those teams get relegated?
they just
It happens in Europe all the time.
They
These
have
teams get
Hamburg,
They know the
Schalke.
risk. That's
the biggest
why-
fucking
Sunderland
teams
and
in
even
Germany.
Leeds, yeah.
That's why when they go and they vote, they come up with the system and the situation, and that's just how it is. Then if they pass the vote and they think this helps progress their league, then it does.
It will be good for USL. It will have no effect on the landscape. And I'm glad that USL.
I
did it.
disagree. I think there's more pro-rel people that want that in America because they like the European system.
I think nobody understands it. They all want pro rel, but they don't understand the intricacies of pro rel because, like, when you get relegated from the Premiership, there are parachute payments to make sure your business does not just
And it's
fall right down.
and
right?
let's be honest.
It-
it's
that
not,
those are the pieces.
let's be honest. It's not true promotion relegation, is it?
What do you
Explain
mean?
that question.
Which league right now today? Not ifs, not buts, not maybe if magic happens. Who has the most money?
Saudi Arabia.
No, in
In
America.
America? Oh, the soccer
MLS.
leagues, MLS.
Well, that's
does.
what we're
So
saying.
you cannot, as a USL team, get promoted into the league with all the money, right?
Right.
Done.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can't have two top.
It's not
leagues.
true
gonna
pro
work.
Two
rel.
top leagues.
It's not. there's
Soccer's not. Soccer's
Is there
not
a
at that point
country
right now.
that has two top leagues?
This is American aid.
I would love to know if there is another country out there that
There
has
is
two top
not.
leagues, but I can't think of it.
There is not.
Didn't you say, do you never Colombia or somewhere or some of like the South American leagues that maybe have multiple Division I leagues?
I am
Thought
not
you said
smart
that.
enough to know that. Definitely not me. I'm not a smart man.
This is a.
Don't you have a relative in Colombia?
Yes.
Yes, he is. I've heard. Yes,
Pedro Hearn.
Pedro.
Pedro
I
Hearn.
think he's from Mexico, Pedro. But
Oh,
yeah.
wait, what's the Colombian name? Juan Gonzalez Emilio Hearn.
Oh yes, another long lost relative of mine.
I think it work. I think if all the owners buy in and
do you
sponsors
think-
interested, yes.
Do you think the owners buy in? Do you think the owners vote for it? Because
Yes.
I hope they do.
quickly you can be. All right, Detroit City. Should they buy into this? Should they want this?
Yes.
Yeah,
But they're going to be
Because they have two
forced.
options. They have two options. These owners. They have two options: sit and wait till some billionaire comes to making an investment, and you can't own what you want to own, or you can see if you can progress and still
There's
own the
only
team.
so many billionaires who want to invest in soccer teams, though.
No, there's billionaires falling out of trees all over the place, bro. Just go get another billion.
Yes.
Can we find one to help
Also-
us on this show?
Also, with MLS, saying, "Hey, we'll take outside investment now," so that means
Yeah, they said audience. Come on, baby.
Yeah,
No,
which is
John
very
Garber
bizarre
openly
to
said
me,
he
and I
would
don't
take
like
outside
that.
American investment. So
Let me make my statement clear because I don't want Brooks to hate me after the end of this.
Too late.
Yeah, I know. I think pro rel for USL is a great idea, and I think it will be great for them, and I think it gives them a niche that makes them different from MLS that will attract other people.
what's they have to do?
However, it will not topple MLS, who is already so far ahead of you.
I'm not saying it's going to topple MLS, but I think it'll
and
give them
it will-
competition.
It will not be on par with MLS.
I am going to go
Because
ahead.
I'll tell you
and
what's
agree
gonna happen.
100%.
I'll
with
tell you what's going to happen. Even if they come close, MLS, with all the money and the power and the way the U.S. Soccer Federation works, who do you think carries the bigger stick, MLS or US? And who do you think is going to step in right there to make sure that shit gets shut down or somehow hit?
There's so much money that flows through soccer that I don't think
But I think it's
the
great
MLS
for
will
USL.
share. I think
Here's
it's
what you
very
missed.
good for
I'm
USL.
gonna make
But you're not going to be on par with MLS, which is unfortunate.
I'm gonna make
but I do
one-
like the idea.
one thing is that the new guys they put in place USL, Paul McDonough was part of Wasserman Agency. Wasserman Agency is a huge agency. They represent a lot of NFL players, actors, different types of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
They
that's
just
how I know.
acquired CSM over in Europe. When you deal with agencies and you get agencies involved that are linked with just a league, it gets very interesting.
So I understand. I get that. So let me ask this: Do you believe, Brooks? Do you believe that the USL Division One, this new league they're going to form, and it's going to be the top of the USL pyramid? Do you truly believe that that will be on par with MLS? And
Not right away.
No, not right away. If it starts next year, it's definitely not right away, right?
No.
But how long? How long do you think it will take? And will MLS players defect over? They would have to be sold. They'll have to be sold
They
back
would.
and forth.
It'd have to be sold back and
But
forth.
give me. Is it 2 years? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Is it 20 years? Because
It's probably just as long as probably MLS has been. It's not
I'd
10
say
years.
MLS is
It's
in their
probably at least
30th
15
year.
to 20.
yeah, it's a long way down the road.
But if you also have different, because they have a players association as well, USL. If
Mhm.
theirs is a little different, and a little more lenient, and they don't do all the TAM GAM stuff that MLS does, they actually run kind of like how the European League does. You know what I mean? Where like you don't have extra money, like whatever you have. If like you. And I don't know if they do salary caps or I don't know what they would do. They have to discuss all this stuff. This is the stuff they'll discuss in the meeting. But
I hope it's longer than just a 2-hour meeting. This better be
no,
a
this is
multi-day,
like a 3-day event. This is a
multi-meeting.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
this is a 3-day
You know,
event.
this meeting could have been done with just an email.
This
Yeah,
is
why-
this is a 3-day event. It's August 8th to 10th is when they're meeting.
Now, I understand
So-
Brooks is very passionate about this.
Mm.
So
So I'm going to then
Think.
I'm going to throw out the silver lining here and how this could help everything. This is a big if.
Mm.
If, and this is what I mean, MLS, when you're so far ahead and you want to squash your opponents, and they're doing this, and I even read the report, they said we need to do something because MLS is just running gangbusters on us at this point. If this is somehow successful, if USL actually proves this to be successful, I could see MLS then implementing their own closed, because it's going to be closed,
sure.
promotion relegation. But again, it's not true promotion relegation. And what I mean by that is just like USL isn't true, there still is one league and where they all work in. Now, MLS is already starting with your MLS Next and all this other stuff.
Oh, hold on. I do think, in my opinion, that USL, like you say, it's not true. Like, I know USL 2 is a part of the system. I think at some point, someone will, they will try to do is, whether it's UPSL or some other one, they will try to make them a part of the pyramid to bring them in because UPSL is a huge organization.
And I mean that'd be nice if they do that. That'd be great for for lower league.
I could see them that could be an incentive for people to join.
and that'd be great
Yes.
for lower league soccer.
Yes.
But MLS won't do that.
They won't.
They'll keep with the
USL will be more likely.
They'll keep with the closed system. You know what I
Correct.
mean? They'll keep with the closed
Absolutely
system.
agree.
close.
And that could be a great thing. And that could be great. And honestly, it would be cool if a UPSL team were able to work its way up to the USL
It would.
Championship. I don't even care if it's considered first division, second division, blah
Sure.
blah blah. That doesn't matter to me. I mean, I don't know. I go to DCFC games. I'd love an MLS team here, but I want to stop going to DCFC games because
Sure.
of USL. And I know they're both exist in the same world. I hate this idea of and or. I just don't see USL toppling the giant that MLS is at this
Now that's all speculation. I said I don't know if they're gonna. It's the D1. That's what I've heard, and
That'd
that's
be
what
great.
that's been through
That'd
rumors.
be awesome.
I would like a league to compete with MLS because if they could do something different and not be as closed-minded or as or follow the European style a little more, I would very much appreciate that.
I agree. I think it would be great
So-
as well. But again, it's going to take them a long time to get to that level that MLS is at. And don't forget, MLS is also going to go, oh, look, they're catching up.
Yeah.
Pivot, change, put more money in, get a bigger
Sure.
sponsor.
But I
hey,
do see-
blah, 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 enter more money.
I think USL does see, though, that with the investment that McElhenney and Reynolds have made in like a smaller team that's what's less to buy into than an MLS expansion team,
Well, it's all right,
and all the
so-
other actors are buying into teams, I think they see that as a possibility. It's like, I like this thing. I think it can work in America. I will invest my money.
The difference is, though, again, they can go and break into the market where it has all the money.
Right.
And that's the difference. And
I know, but I think a few of them wouldn't mind throwing in, if there was they started League One, throwing in $3 million, and I don't think they would.
But that's it's you got $3 million, and then the new MLS owner is going to throw in $500 million.
Yep.
That's what you're competing against, and
All
that's
right,
that's the problem. Now, maybe if there's somehow an influx of money,
But
maybe.
I think the Pro Rel changes that idea in the United States because MLS doesn't have Pro Rel.
I'm interested to see how promotion relegation does work in USL Championship, especially if you are a new team into USL Championship like Detroit City and Monterey Bay, right? Like
Yeah.
two new teams played last night, 1-0, win 1-0. They've paid a lot of money to get in the USL Championship. Now all of a sudden they could potentially be dropping down. They paid to get to the top of the pyramid there, and they're going to drop down through just a poor season. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. It's interesting. So October 8th through the 10th, these meetings that could have been
August.
August
8th to 10th, yep.
August 8th through the 10th, these meetings, which could have been just Zoom meetings or emails.
Zoom meeting.
I am interested.
Can we all get on Teams, please?
Oh God,
Yeah.
Bob, we can't see you. Bob, you're buffering.
Jenny,
you're buffering.
Jenny, you're muted.
Yeah.
You're muted. We can't hear you.
I think they'll do this one live, Craig.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. I'm
These are the
interested
summer
to
meetings
know-
for USL.
Yeah, I'm interested to know
Is
what
it
the
held in a
final
nice
count
area?
comes out to be.
It's in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
It changes every year. So,
yeah.
like Louisville was last year. It's Colorado Springs.
You know where it's not going to be?
When's it going to be in Vegas? I'll go there.
You know where it's not going to be? Gary, Indiana.
Or Detroit.
My uncle, who actually did air ducts, he still does. He always tells me on his convention meetings he's going to, and they're always in a nice place. Not Gary, Indiana. Just FYI. He's like, yeah, I got to go to Hawaii.
Outside Chicago.
There-
Gary,
Dude,
Indiana.
Gary,
Indiana.
he goes, there's some serious meetings that he goes. It's
If
not a
you
convention.
guys tuned in today thinking we were going to be talking about double up,
No, we're on air ducts now.
air duct conventions,
Yes.
And
you
if
got the
and if
right show.
you got to give me some credit right now. Can I get a little bit of credit?
What do you want credit
Because
for?
you didn't go all Nate on Brooks like he went on you?
Do you want to know why I didn't go all Nate on anything?
Because it was fun to watch Brooks do that?
Well, yeah, that was actually great.
Yeah.
No, number one, that was cool. Number two
I have
is,
to be passionate about something. I want to see change.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I agree with you. It'd be great if it happened. I'm just trying to be a realist. But while Brooks was yelling and screaming, Cincinnati tied it up against Sporting Case.
Oh,
Sporting,
3-3 and a man down.
And then went to the penalty shootout and they won the penalty shootout. All three, baby.
Oh, Pat Noonan getting the job done there. Pat Noonan getting the job done in Cincinnati.
In Leagues Cup.
Leagues Cup.
And
Well
they
done,
say you
Patty.
can't. No, not only Leagues Cup, but that was a home win and adds to the streak of home wins.
Surprised you weren't there at the game, my friend.
No, but I will be at Chiefs Colorado Hunter game.
Is that this Wednesday?
Boom, Thursday.
Thursday. There you go.
So I'm going to guess probably mid-August, end of August, we'll know something on that vote and see how it goes. Or it could probably be the
I hope it
next
gets
day.
passed.
I just want to see if it works. Like, listen, if they try it and it's like, hey, maybe like we stepped ahead too much or
So-
like, you know,
USL
if
has.
it's a slow build, that's what they need to do. It can't be all at once. It's got to be a slow build, in my opinion.
I think that's good for USL.
Yes.
I think thinking that USL is going to be on par with MLS is not a thing. I think it's good for USL because if you want to do something
Mhm.
and be different, then be different.
Yep.
Right? And that will attract, hopefully, new people. That'll attract additional viewers that might get people interested. Hell, you might have, you got those people who love college football. They love college football. They love it. And they can't stand the NFL. They'll never go to the NFL. They hate it. They hate the NFL. You know,
Like basketball. They love college
Yeah.
basketball. They hate
and even though the
NBA.
NFL is a better product, even though the NFL is a bigger product, even though it's the spectacle, they don't want anything to do with it. Why? Because they feel college players try more and there's more on the line.
Yeah.
And they're not wrong. And you're going to have a group of people, I think, that go, hey, I'd rather watch USL. I I don't care that Messi's playing in Inter Miami. It's kind of bullshit that he actually is playing there because of what's going on. That's bullshit that you can do this. I hate the big money stuff. I rather watch this USL stuff, and because it has this cool promotion relegation, and it has this cool different things like here. So I think it'll be great for the league. I hope it passes. I just think it's pretty much going to live and die at the league. The only thing that could happen is MLS might go, hey, we got Pro Rel too, and you're like, oh, all right, what is Pro Rel? Can Nate's Super Kickers FC that plays in men's open MPSL? No, that's not it. It's basically all the MLS teams are this thing here, and we let the MLS 2 teams maybe play MLS 1, maybe.
So the one question I'll throw you guys is, do you think it works? It's more plausible for it to work if they at that meeting they say your fans can buy into the club just like they do in Europe, just like DCFC has done. If all fans can buy into the club and have a bigger say in how the club is run, do you think that helps make this a little plausible to work?
Is there a rule that they can't do that now? Is there a rule?
Well, it's just because they're all,
I don't think that matters either way for me.
Yeah,
I think you have to make a decision. But if there was a rule, that's why I asked. If there was,
I don't think there's a rule.
Okay, I think maybe they use that as a way to help generate funds.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you need it because when you're making a decision like this, you have to actually have a firm decision. You can't go, oh well, if this happens, then we'll do this because then it's open the door. Because let's say 10 out of 15 teams all say yes, and then the 5 say no, we can't get people to sign up for that. Then what? You know what I mean?
I think it's an all or none thing.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I mean.
that's what it have to be. It's like if the majority say yes, we all have to follow.
But you can't. You have to have a definitive thing.
Yes.
I think they should open it up. If you're not in your USL team, that's silly. I think you should absolutely do that because I think that would generate more funds and bring stuff in, and I think they need to fix up.
Well, I think people would feel more of the team. I think the one thing everyone gets with MLS teams is, yeah, you can be a fan, but you don't feel like you're a part of something because you don't have a piece of it.
Yep. You're exactly right. It's like any franchise sport. Sorry, it is. Any franchise sport in America, you're not a part of it. You're the outside looking in. It's the owners, and they threw in a lot of money. Again, that's a good thing that USL could do to attract more people, to make people more part of the game, to make people feel part of the ownership group or part of the group in general. Worked for Detroit.
Yep. And I just feel like when they talk
Unless you're Lexi Lawless. Just kidding.
Just
kidding, Lexi.
Within that meeting, I think that's the thing they'll go after. But the pros and cons, and they'll really be like, what's MLS missed? What do we think we have? And and I think that's what the legal pitch to all the owners, and then it's the owners to decide. Because I think every team has done stuff different. DCFC has done the fan ownership stuff, and it's worked. Louisville's built a nice stadium. You said, Nate. Some are still playing a college stadium. Some are still playing in League One particular. But a lot of the championship teams have built their own stadiums.
Yeah, some have great stadiums too.
Yes.
I think that the only issue is going to happen is you're going to have to do some type of collective bargaining. I don't want to say collective bargaining, some collective payment, right? So if I'm a League 2 team coming up,
teams will need help to start
exactly.
things. Yes,
and that would be the only unattractive thing. But at the same time, if you are struggling and limping, and you're like, hey, I'm making $10 million, but my league could fold.
Yeah. And
signing up for this means I'm going to make $8 million.
Yeah.
I'll sign up for this so my league doesn't fold and I'm at least making something.
Yeah. You need to make sure also you have owners that, like we've talked about in the Premier League and whatnot, that aren't taking out loans and everything. That they're going to be financially stable, where they can build a product. And if it takes a few years or whatever, because obviously there will always be some people that if they get promoted the first year to make the jump to the next league, that they're ready to do it. And there are some that won't be. So that'll be the tough part is the money structure too, and how that works and whatnot. So go ahead, Nate.
All about the money, my friend. Yeah. It's all about the money. Yep. Yes, Nate?
I'd like to make an announcement of the UWS National.
Ooh, here we go. Who we got?
In penalty kick shootout, I believe, because we got a Let's Go with the championship trophy on the Jags website.
Ooh.
It would be the Michigan Jags.
Well done, Jags.
I believe winning it in penalty shootouts from what I'm gathering here.
Hey.
Well done, Jags.
Yeah, they're jumping in a circle. They're jumping in a circle.
I think they won. I think they're not jumping in a circle for finishing second. They're jumping in the circle for
never know. That's circle jumping. But it looks like, from what I look, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just reading their half announcement on the Facebook pages that happened 6 minutes ago. It appears that the Michigan Jag FC Women's Pro Team has won the UWS National Championship, probably through penalty kick shootout, is what I'm seeing.
Well done to Doug Stenard and Michigan Jags women's team. Well done,
Good
guys.
job, Dougie.
I will never hear the end of it from Doug.
Wheel of randomness.
I think we'll do real randomness in a couple of minutes. We've still got some games to get to here. So, obviously, a lot of friendlies being played right now, club friendlies, as we talked about. Man United last night played against Arsenal. 2-0 Man United. Oh, my God, 2-0 Man United. Holy shit, they're going to finish above Arsenal in the league. It means nothing.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Are you telling me Stuttgart's undefeated friendly wins mean nothing as well?
I can tell you the Detroit Lions once went 4-0 in preseason and then 0-16 in the regular season.
That's called football as well.
Yeah, so direct correlation.
That's a direct correlation.
Look, these games mean nothing. They're coming out of them with they're just trying to get, especially when you're playing against other Premiership teams, you don't want to give too much away. You want to get some fitness in. You want to get some touches in. Winning's nice, don't get me wrong, but no one gives a crap.
Eric Taghead said there is no such thing as friendly.
I saw that because they were butchering Arsenal last night, from what I understand. There was 35 fouls called in that game.
Yeah.
That is horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Well, I mean, you know, make a statement.
Yeah, sure.
Remember when Japan played USA in a friendly and beat the shit out of them? Like
before the
physically
World Cup?
and mentally? Yeah.
Yep. How'd that work out for him? Yeah.
Well,
Hey, listen.
Japan did well.
Well, yeah.
But, all right, hold on. So, Man United did win 2-0 over Arsenal.
And then?
Well, hold on. In the game, Bruno Fernandes, newly named captain, Bruno Fernandes scored a goal. Jadon Sancho scored a goal. And then it was decided before the game, before the kickoff, Eric Ten Hag and Mikel Arteta did decide they would like to do penalty kicks at the end of the game, no matter the result. So no matter win, loss, or draw, let's do a penalty kick just to do some practice here. So Man United won 2-0 in the end of 90 minutes. Then they did a penalty kick shootout. Man United won 5-3 there. One miss for Arsenal, which ended it there. So, yes.
Can I make a public statement to the millions and millions of WAS listeners, or the
billions,
or the five, maybe? Anywho.
In India?
In India, all in India. So I read a lot online. It was funny when they showed this. So like, oh, this is such an American thing. And I'm reading all these things, and clearly it was people not from the States. Oh, okay, of course, American thing. No. It's like you said, it's a friendly that means what, Craig?
Nothing.
Absolutely and so nothing. Is it when you're doing a practice, because that's what this is a practice, at the end to go, hey, let's get some, PK kicks in and really make it nice. Yeah, sure, why not? That I don't think that's an American thing. It wasn't done by the Americans. It was done by the Spaniard and the guy from Holland, who decided that they wanted to do this as a way to practice, because that's what you're doing. You're practicing. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Why wouldn't you do that? It's a glory. Now it's funny because when I was over in Germany,
do they do practice free kicks at the end?
Yeah, they did practice. They did penalty kicks they did penalty kicks no matter what, which makes sense. Yeah. So it's because you're practicing. So and it was funny. The only thing that I think is the American thing is the amount of money that people are spending to go see basically a glorified scrimmage. Which that was when I was in Germany. People were like, people are spending X amount of dollars to see a glorified sprint. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to understand, it's there. When are you going to see Mason Mount? If $100 ticket is cheaper than $1,000 flight, and they're like, yeah, I guess you got a point there.
So, but what kind of got me a little bit today was the amount of fans I saw, especially in our Facebook group, who were saying, "Oh my God, look!" Again, no one cares. It's a friendly, and as Nate said, glorified friendly at best. Just chill the F out. So
go marching one by one in Craig's head. Hurrah!
Villa tied Newcastle today 3-3. I was watching the game beforehand.
Yes.
It was a decent game, and to be honest, that's what you want from a friendly. Back and forth, doing different formations, trying different things. Goals scored. 3-3 final. Villa were actually up 2-0 in the first 20 minutes. Played well. I could have cared less. I had the game on when they scored. Gave a thumbs up. Don't care. I didn't care if we won 3-0, lost 3-0. We came out of it with no injuries. Arsenal and Man United cannot say the same. Both of them came out of there limping with injuries. Silly. Absolutely silly from both of those clubs that they were kicking each other.
Good preparation for the season.
No, terrible, man. I would be pissed that my team entered into competition like that because I believe both of them now have people who are injured and can't train for the next week or two. The season starts in two and a half to 3 weeks. Guys, chill the F out. They're freaking preseason friendlies.
Good for my Seagulls.
Oh my God.
That's all I care about, Craig.
Yeah,
Come on, your Villa should be happy.
Yeah, a game that is going to be happening is coming up soon, Monday, tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, AC Milan versus Real Madrid.
Oh,
That's going to be an interesting game. Yeah, Pulisic. So while we're talking about that, we mentioned it earlier. Tonali was sold by AC Milan to Newcastle for $80 million. Here's who the players that have been brought in by AC Milan. Noah Okafor, Tijani Rehenders, Christian Pulisic, Luca Romero, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Marco Sportiello. Listen, they have just taken that $80 million and turned it into 4 or 5 freaking good players that are going to be great for the next couple of years for that club. That's what you do when you get 80 to 100 million. You buy players like that. But they play tomorrow against Real Madrid. Again, what a test. No, it's not a test. No one cares. Glorified friendly as long as they come out without injuries.
So with AC Milan and Inter Milan losing a lot of players, do you think now they have a chance maybe to compete to win the league, AC Milan? Because they were close last year, weren't they top 3?
They were close. They did very well. They're in the Champions League. They got some room to grow. Inter have lost some players. Juventus have gained a couple of players. Napoli still haven't sold Osimhen or the Greek midfielder. So they're still up there. I think AC Milan are in there with a shout. They are going to be a top 3 team for sure. It will be very interesting. Yeah, that's how you build a team, and I think they are going to be they've done it right. But again, tomorrow versus Real Madrid, they're just going to look to play a formation. It's very Italian. What they will do is hey, we're just going to throw these players out there. We're going to try this formation. We're going to try that formation. We're not going to give anything away.
Sure.
We're not going to let anybody know how we're going into the season and where these players are really going to be playing, how they're going to be playing.
Let's try to find it, though.
Yeah, they just get some rhythm, get some kicks, get some fitness. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
3 new AC Milan fans here this year. This
yeah,
year.
Well, to be honest, I think you're going to find there's a couple million AC Milan fans now in.
I liked AC Milan.
I didn't mind them. I was an Inter fan, as you can see from the jersey behind you there.
This guy's probably a Napoli fan.
I'm going to go with.
I was an Inter
let me
fan.
actually find.
Sassuolo?
Sassuolo.
That's American owned.
Nah, I don't care about that.
Half the teams half the clubs in Italy now are American owned. All right.
We love randomness. Do we have any applause or any cool things?
Woo! No, do the Batman one. Come on.
The Batman one?
Yeah.
Wheel, randomness. Craig spins the wheel and Aiden from saying Craig like to answer.
All right,
Da-da-da-da-da.
I don't know. Are we going this way or
That's
this way?
definitely not it. But.
All right, we ready?
tried.
All right. So real randomness, bunch of things written on here, and then we will answer. We'll go one by one. We'll do this once or twice. Let's go. Ooh. You can delete one team. You can delete one league. Which one are you deleting from the world? Remove a league from the world. Which league are you removing? Nate, do you want to go first?
It's simple. French league, it does nothing for anyone.
Yes, 100%. The French league is
Gone.
horrible.
You wouldn't even notice they were gone.
Agreed.
You'd just be like, what?
What happened?
What happened?
Oh,
What?
all right. Oh, there's new players in all these other leagues. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe you'd be looking for PSG for half a minute, but realize all those players in Saudi Arabia. After that, you're good.
Yep, agreed.
Yep.
Brooks, you can delete one league from the world. What league are you deleting?
The Saudi Premier League.
Wow. Whoa.
It takes every controversial thing
Brooks
away.
Lambier Jr. at hotmail.com is where you can reach him. That's it. You're deleting the Saudi league.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. We have someone chiming in with an answer.
Oh, who?
Victor.
Bundesliga.
Don't you dare.
Oh,
if you
boy.
if sure, fine. You delete Bundesliga, then where's the Premier League getting all their goddamn players?
Good question.
There goes Ernie Holland. There goes De Bruyne. Before anyone's like, what do you
Bellingham.
mean? Bellingham.
well,
Well,
he went to
that's
Spain, but
Madrid,
whatever,
Spain.
yeah.
There goes Diaby.
De Bruyne.
There goes De Bruyne. There goes like
Sancho.
there's
Bellingham. There
yeah.
goes well,
Holland.
Yeah.
Already did them.
Yeah. I think of everybody. All right.
There's a lot more too if you want to roll
man.
through it.
You know
Bobby
what?
Firmino came from
Yeah.
Hoffenheim.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna delete the Monday night co-ed league from Novi Total Soccer. That league sucks.
Wow.
I got kicked so hard there the other week. That league deserves to go away.
Wow.
Goodbye, Monday night league from Novi co-ed soccer.
Nate Brooks going like
Real.
and
It doesn't matter. It could be
What
anything.
do you mean? I went real. That's
He
a
did.
real league down the road that I
we're,
play
we're-
in.
we're
Yes.
going to help the world, and then Greg's just like, I hate my co-ed league.
Well, it's not mine. They asked me to play, and I went out there and did them a favor, and then I got kicked.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad bruise.
Whatever.
By the way,
Glenn Hearn.
let me-
Glenn
let-
Hearn goes the. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
I
Glenn.
just want to help Victor out. They can't go straight to the Premier League, Victor, because what happens is the Premier League sends them to the Bundesliga for $10 million. We make them better, and then sell them back to the Premier League for $90 million. They were already in the English league, dude.
I like Glenn Hearn's answer.
Yeah, Glenn, good answer. Brooks, you want to
NBA.
He
NBA.
wants to get rid of the NBA.
Great. Love it.
Yes, I like that. All right, let's do one more. Let's do another one here. That was pretty
Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel. No, 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 no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Worst. Oh, nope, sorry. Favorite soccer experience.
Oh.
Nate, you're yawning. I don't know.
Just late. Do I have to go first?
Why don't we make Brooks go first this time? Brooks, favorite soccer experience.
Man.
Yep, tough one. Didn't you see one of the best goals that Michigan State? What was that goal score?
Yeah, it was
a
a
couple years
Jason
ago?
Stacy one, but
Yeah,
like,
that was
I
a
mean,
great
that was an
goal.
awesome moment. I think I used that for best goal that we had up there
Ooh,
one
yeah.
time. Best moment for me, man.
Too many to choose from.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Just come back to me. Go ahead. You can answer.
All right, I'll answer.
Yeah.
Probably my last game at Michigan State, playing against Notre Dame. Walked them off the pitch. Was the best player on the field. We still lost 1-0, unfortunately. That's the way it goes. But a great soccer experience. Last day at Michigan State at home, Old College Field, raining. Absolutely loved it. Best college experience right there, but we lost. Shit happens. Nate, scoring a goal in the professional leagues in the Bundesliga in Germany.
You know, I had to think long and hard. I think I got my answer.
All right, go for it.
I think I got my answer. So, has to when I did play in Germany, and it is a soccer-related moment in that playing there was extremely difficult for me because basically no one talked to me for 6 months in a locker room. And then once someone actually spoke to me, it was like, you speak English? What the hell? And I was like, yeah, no. And I had to, it was very, very difficult emotionally. It was very difficult physically, and that's not even the soccer. And I always questioned whether or not I was like really on the team, or you know what I mean. And I worked my way in and played some matches and stuff like that. And I felt, hey, I kind of made it, whatever. Made it and kind of was a part of the team. And the last day I was in Germany, the very last day, last night, I sent a message out to the team, and I'm like, yeah, I know you guys are training tonight. I'm going to be drinking at this bar if anyone wants to meet up there. It'd be nice to see you off, but, if not, get it. German response, yeah, we have training. I don't know. And it is like a 45-minute train ride from, downtown Stuttgart to where they were at. And I was like, no, just letting everyone know. I had 10 first-team players show up to the bar to see me off and have drinks with me.
Wow.
One last time before my plane left in 5 hours.
Wow.
There you go. Very nice.
And at that moment, I could feel like, yeah, these guys didn't have to come down here, and that was very just nice and kind. And at that moment, it was, yeah. And it's guys I still kind of talk to every now and then. It's good. It was that to me is, outside of all the other games and everything else, is if I look at it,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Cool.
All right, I have mine.
Love that.
So when I was an assistant coach at Lawrence Tech for 2 years, the second year when we won the WAC conference championship to get into the playoffs, the NAIA playoffs, for the first time ever in the program history, and it's been the only time. So it was, we won. We were, Indiana Tech, I think there were 2 men down, and one or 2 men down, and, we kind of sealed the deal for us. After losing the prior year in the WAC championship final to UNOH off one crazy goal this UNOH kid scored. That was a heartbreaker. But, just kind of accomplishing that and helping Coach Will Dyer kind of, accomplish that goal. And, the boys were ecstatic, all the hard work they put in, the seniors the last 4 years and whatnot. So that was a good one. And then obviously you run into a top team in Rio Grande, who is a top-tier NAI program that sends, kids to play D1, and they have some kids playing in USL, so that's a good program. I'd say that's probably best soccer experience. Yeah, winning the WAC championship my second year with Lawrence Tech.
Good answers, boys. All right, let's
Can I
do
throw in
this.
my cheese joke real quick?
You have a cheese joke?
Brooks, that was whack.
One more?
Yeah, let's do one more reel of randomness.
Please. It's
Spin,
very
spin,
sweaty in the
spin,
crotch
spin,
area.
Spin.
No, we're not going to do that one.
Okay, that's fair.
You wrote these damn things.
I know.
Well, we put 4 new runs on there.
That's the same one we just did.
Come on.
What the hell does it keep going there for? All right.
It's meant to be.
Ooh, is that one of the new
Ooh,
ones?
no, it's not one of the new ones. Player you would like to take to dinner. What player in the world would you like to take to dinner?
I thought you already did this once.
No, maybe, I don't know.
Let's go with it. Do you want me to answer first? You always want to go first?
Yeah, you answer first.
All right. I mean, the obvious answer, right, is Messi. Everybody wants to take Messi to dinner. Wants to do pick his brain a little bit. I'm gonna go a little different. I would love to take Ben Foster to dinner, Wrexham's goalie. I would love to talk to him about the experience of coming out of retirement, playing for Wrexham, what it's like signing back up. But he's got so many cool stories. And if I had to give you a second one, it'd be Peter Crouch. As you heard earlier, I'm a huge fan of Peter Crouch. His personality is phenomenal. Just such a funny dude. So I'll go Ben Foster and then Peter Crouch because they both have podcasts.
You can do 2?
Nah, you can just do one. But I answered 2.
Me? The first one, Alicia Lehman.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing 2.
Okay.
You're only allowed to do 1, Nate. Yeah. And who's the second one, Brooks?
Gosh, man, who else?
And you only get 1. You didn't have 2 lined up. All right, next.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, moving
All
along.
right, everyone knows I'm a huge Wayne Rooney fan, big fan of him, and everyone knows that my daughter's a huge Lucio Acosta fan. Like, if I took him to dinner, I could get an autograph. But there's none of them can hold a candle to the player I'm about to say right now. There's one player I would just love to take for dinner. And if he said yes, it would absolutely make my day. I'd be over the moon. And that player is one Mr. Craig Hearn. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's fantastic.
We have done dinner before and a beer, I think, right? We've gone out for beers.
All right, see you later tonight.
So we have some comments, by the way.
We gotta fight. We gotta Glenn Hearn Victor fight.
Yeah, apparently Glenn and Victor, did they ever play high school soccer together? So
Debatable.
Yeah. And then yes, apparently I win in this answer with Alicia Lehman. So yes. Glenn says Alex Morgan, though. That's another
That's a
good
good,
one.
solid answer.
Yes. Victor says you're a cheap and easy date.
You're not wrong. Not wrong, Victor. You know from experience.
Get a hungry man meal. He's in.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. I like where that's going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to come close to wrapping it up here. I do want to let everybody know that Crystal Palace is playing Millonarios FC in Chicago this
interviews.
Wednesday. Yeah, I did interviews with 2 of the players there. If you're in Chicago and around Chicago, go ahead and hit that game up. It's going to be a fun one. Again, it's a friendly, but it will be fun. You get a Colombian team playing against an EPL team.
It's your birthday tomorrow?
Nope, that's a lie. I don't know where that came from.
From Glenn.
That's a lie. He doesn't really
Wait a
know.
minute.
No,
Wait.
that's a lie.
Hold on. No, actually, hold on. I do remember when your birthday is, and it wasn't the summertime around this time.
You got no. And then if you're around the Detroit area on
is.
Sunday, Crystal Palace are playing against Sevilla FC at Comerica Park. Get your tickets early. That's gonna be a fun
Victor
game.
says it's your birthday tomorrow.
Victor doesn't know anything. All
Victor
right.
gonna make a cake for him?
He makes cakes every year. Cake kicker. Big thank you to SoccerWorld.net. Thank you, Soccer World. We appreciate all the love you guys show us. Thank you to NLT, Aaron Bird, Scotty Wright, Dylan, Renato, the boys down there at Next Level Training. NLT, you guys are the best trainers in the country. Looking to get an interview with Mr. Aaron Bird very soon. We got a lot of questions to ask him. Dog and Pony Show Brewing have been drinking their beer all night. Thank you to them. Thank you for hosting our watch party that we had for the U.S. Women's National Team this past Friday. We will be out there most likely on Wednesday for the 9 o'clock kickoff against the Netherlands. Join us then. Thank you to the Michigan Jags. UWS Natty Champions, Michigan Jags. Well done. Let's get another star on that crest. Well done, Jags. And for me and the boys at the kids' table, we will see you later. And maybe next week. We'll see. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, boys. Cheers.